Hello, a very good afternoon and Ramadan Kareem. Welcome to this very special live coverage in which we will continue the success of Feena Khair national campaign, which was launched last week by His Majesty the King's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs, National Security Advisor and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, the RHF, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to support the national efforts to combat the novel coronavirus COVID-19, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander and First Deputy Premier Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. From now and until 5 p.m, we will host a number of guests to talk about the tremendous efforts exerted by the government, led by the Royal Highness, his Prime Minister Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, as well as those made by the National Task Force for Combating Coronavirus, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander and First Deputy Premier Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, for applying all the international standards and precautionary measures to combat the virus. We will also get and highlight all precautionary measures to combat the pandemic, which enabled Bahrain to reach the optimum readiness and undertake preemptive action promptly and professionally. Before we are joined by our guests, let us take a look at how this campaign started with a heartwarming message from His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. في هالوقت القصير هذا أرجوكم أنكم تسمحوا لي أني أقضي هالفترة البسيطة وأشرح لكم شيء كبير جدا. ما أدري أنا كيف بوفي المعلومة وكيف أني بوصل المعلومة، ولكن الفهيم راح يفهم والبخيص راح يبخص والمحب راح يتفهم. والموضوع هو طبعا حملة فينا خير. حملة فينا خير هذه مثل ما يقول الكتاب من عنوانه. اليوم هو يوم اللي الوطن اللي ربينا فيه واللي كلينا من خيره واللي عشنا في ذراه وعشنا في ظل قيادته الرشيدة، اللي اليوم نشوفه في وقت هالجائحة الكبيرة، إلا أن الوطن هذا صامد بشعبه وصامد بقيادته، والحمد لله متصدر في محاربة هذا الفيروس اللي راح إن شاء الله ينزاح في القريب جدا. البحرين كلمة كبيرة ما أقدر أشرحها في دقيقة دقيقتين من هذا الفيلم، ولكن إيش كثر تستاهل البحرين، إيش كثر تستاهل البحرين، تستاهل أرواحنا. لا تنسون عندنا شهداء، لا تنسون عندنا أبطال ضحوا بحياتهم عشان هذا العلم. وهذه إذا تبغون شيء أعلن لكم في العلن، هذه أمنية، وأمنيتي أني ودائما أطلب رب العالمين أنه ما يأخذني مريض على سرير، يأخذني وأنا في سبيل هذا الوطن، يأخذني وأنا أسعى لهذا الوطن والمواطن. الله يقدرني إن شاء الله على قد دعاي اللي هو فعلا اللي أنا أتمنى. المراد موضوع فينا خير، احنا حقيقة فينا خير. الحملة هذه في لها أبعاد كثيرة. الدولة وانتم عارفين دعمت الاقتصاد الوطني، تسعى ليل نهار انها تدعم الاقتصاد الوطني عشان يبقى الاقتصاد منتعش وعشان تبقى الحياة ماشية. خذنا اجراءات جدا سليمة ان تصدر احنا دول العالم في حالات الشفاء، ونحاول قد ما نقدر ان احنا نمشي سير العمل. ولكن هل احنا بحاجة كذا 100,000؟ هل احنا بحاجة كذا مليون؟ لا، اللهم لك الحمد. جلالة الملك الله يطول عمره بأوامره ننفذ المطلوب، ضخ مليارات اللي دعم الاقتصاد في مملكة البحرين. ولكن حملة فينا خير هذه تعطينا الفرصة، تعطينا الشرف المشاركة، إن عشان يوم الحساب أوقف وارفع راسي وأقول أنا ساهمت ببلادي وساهمت يوم وقت الشدة. لأن النوع الثاني تعرفون ايش بيسوي؟ بيدس راسه في الرمل، بيقول ما ظنيت ان هذا اليوم بيجي، ما ظنيت ان راح العالم يتشافى، وما ظنيت ان بلادي راح تتشافى. فاللهم لك الحمد. احنا نشوف اليوم ان احنا نمشي في خطى جدا سليمة، ولكن ان شاء الله ان تكون عندنا هذه الفرصة ان احنا نقدر نساهم باللي نقدر عليه. فارجوكم لا تاخذوني من منطلق المسؤول او منطلق الشخص يعني في عجلة أو مطبخ القرارات. أنا ناصر محب للبحرين في مكاني الرسمي أو في مكاني الخاص، ما يلزمني لباسي الرسمي وإلى آخره. أتبرع أنا شخصيا ب1,000,000 دينار حق حملة فينا خير. قليل جدا، قليل، هذه قطرة في ماي باللي تستاهله مملكة البحرين. فهذا اللي أنا أقدر أحطه الآن، وعشان أحط الضغط المباشر على أصحاب الشركات، أصحاب المؤسسات، واللي كل واحد كان موجود في البلد وكلم من خير البلد، إنه يعيد حساباته ويقول هالسنين ذي كلها اللي أنا انتفعت من وراء البلد، شنو هي خسائر شهر شهرين، شنو هي اليوم الإمكانية اللي أنا أقدر أسويها، وشنو هو اللي أنا أقدر أقدمه للبلد. جانا اليوم اللي إحنا كنا نتكلم فيه، جانا اليوم اللي إحنا نقول إيش أقدر أقدم للبلد. هذا هو اليوم اللي عقبه يوم الحساب. فأرجو من الجميع أن يعذرني على القليل اللي أنا قدمته لمملكة البحرين، وأتأمل إن شاء الله أتابع هذه الحملة وأشوف الأرقام هذه في ازدياد، وأشوف تكاتف. ترى 1,000,000 أو دينار كلها واحد. إذا مواطن قدم دينار واحد، والله العظيم قسما بالله أن جلالة الملك وكل مسؤول في مملكة البحرين راح يشوفها بقدر 10 مليار. بس أبي أشوف اسمك أن أنت حطيت دينار واحد، عشان بكرة أفتخر وأقول البحرينيين تكاتفوا، والبحرينيين وقفوا لبلدهم اللي كلوا من خيره وعاشوا في ذراه. فهذا هو اليوم اللي احنا ننتظره، هذه هي الوقفة اللي احنا نتأملها. واسمحوا لي إني أطولت عليكم، لأن الموضوع أكبر بكثير من كم دقيقة أقدر أشرح لكم إياها، فالعذر والسموحة على التقصير مرة ثانية. لكن في ختام هذا الكلام اللي أقدر أقوله أن احنا فعلا فينا خير، والله العظيم فينا خير. هذه المحن اللي احنا نمر فيها هذه امتحانات، لازم نشوف النهاية ونشوف العبرة بإذن الله بالناس اللي قاموا بواجبهم الوطني، وعشان ما أعيش أنا يوم من الأيام شايل هم أني أنا ما ساهمت. فأنا الحمد لله أبريت ذمتي، أتمنى من الجميع أن يبري ذمته وياي. وقفتكم مطلوبة اليوم، ونبي نروي قيادتنا الرشيدة شن هم مواطنينهم اللي وقفوا وياهم. ولا تنسون هالشيء، الملك الله يطول عمره باع كل شيء، وتعرفون الشرى صحتكم وسلامتكم. اللي نقدر نقدمه اليوم ما يوفي بهالشيء هذا، ولا يوفي بحق الله طول عمره. شكرا.
What a powerful message that literally moved the hearts and will of all citizens and residents of Bahrain. Now, since the announcement of the first case of the coronavirus in Bahrain, the government executive committee has spared no effort in issuing directives aimed at preventing the spread of the virus within the Bahraini community.
The Government Executive Committee, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander and First Deputy Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, is concerned with dealing with aspects directly related to the development of government work, setting urgent priorities and topics related to the government's work program. It's also concerned with monitoring the progress of vital projects, studying the issues referred to it by the government, and following up on the progress of plans and strategies developed to improve performance, in a manner that is reflected in the desired development and modernization of the outputs of all ministries and government agencies with high quality. Since the announcement of the first coronavirus case in the Kingdom of Bahrain on February 24th, the Executive Committee immediately began issuing directives to tighten measures designed to combat the spread of the virus. In response to these directives, the Ministry of Education announced that all public and private universities, in addition to public and private schools and kindergartens, as well as schools for those with special needs, were closed on the 26th of February. The Ministry of Labour and Social Development also announced that all its training centres, private and public community centres that provide support to individuals with disabilities were closed on the 26th of February. The Executive Committee regularly holds meetings to review, discuss and implement new decisions in accordance with the latest developments of COVID-19 in the Kingdom. Following a report on precautionary measures that have been taken to mitigate the spread of the virus, These following preventative measures were reiterated during the holy month of Ramadan. Iftar will be limited to small family gatherings, refraining from organizing and or attending Ramadan majlises and ghabkas, refraining from hosting public iftar banquets, refraining from girga'un and wada' gatherings, refraining from the public distribution of iftar packages. Zakat al-Fitr kiosks will be replaced with electronic platforms and applications for the collection and distribution of Zakat al-Fitr. In addition, the following enterprises will continue to operate as normal: hypermarkets, supermarkets, cold stores, butchers, as well as stores that sell vegetables, fish, or meat, all forms of bakeries, all petrol gas stations, hospitals, clinics, pharmacies and opticians, banks and money exchange agencies, factories and manufacturing enterprises, administrative offices of enterprises whose activities do not involve direct interaction with customers, enterprises that export, import, or distribute goods, automotive workshops and garages, and shops that sell spare parts, enterprises in the construction and maintenance sector. Effective from 1900 on April 23, 2020 until May 7, 2020, the following decisions will be implemented. Movie theaters, commercial sport gymnasiums, fitness studios, swimming pools, and centers for recreational activities will remain closed. Shisha cafes and services offered by these cafes are limited to takeout and delivery of food only. Salons, restaurants, tourist facilities, and locations serving food are to remain limited to external orders and delivery services. All non-essential medical services provided by private health clinics are to remain suspended. The first hour of grocery store openings remains dedicated to the elderly and pregnant women. Public gatherings are to remain limited to 5 individuals or fewer. Individuals are encouraged to stay at home as much as possible and only leave home when necessary. Face masks are to be worn by all citizens and residents when in public. Commercial and industrial enterprises providing goods or services directly to customers are to be limited to online sales and deliveries. Telecom service centers will provide customer services under necessary circumstances while abiding by social distancing measures. It is the government of Bahrain's top priority to protect the safety and health of all citizens and residents and exert all its dedicated efforts to prevent the spread of this deadly virus.
Welcome back. And the launching Feena Khair campaign came in response to the growing requests from individuals and entities across the private sector that wish to make monetary contributions to national efforts to mitigate the spread of the virus. Due to its national and international duty in carrying out charity and philanthropic work, undertake a humanitarian, social and economic role for the benefit of the people, contribute to the development of a spirit of solidarity to promote philanthropy and support people in need in the kingdom, the Royal Humanitarian Foundation has opened a window for contributions supporting the national efforts to combat the coronavirus COVID-19 through the Feena Khair campaign. And for more about the RHF's social responsibility and effective role in providing special care and interest for the people in Bahrain, especially during the current health circumstances, we are very pleased to be joined here in the studio by the RHF Secretary General, Dr. Mustafa Sayed. Welcome, Dr. Mustafa Sayed. We are very pleased to have you here with us, and Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you.
Dr. Mustafa, we've talked about the Feena Khair campaign, and the campaign, it started as one day and then it got extended to until the end of April. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, but first I say Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. And I'll start by thanking people because it's so important to thank people who supported us in various fields. I thank God for blessing us with a very successful and benevolent leadership and people who helped us not only protecting lives, creating safe, secure environment, as well as helping in this great humanitarian Feena Khair campaign. Feena Khair, which means there is goodness in us, is almost becoming like an English word. Everybody says Feena Khair, Feena Khair. It's a good word coined by His Highness Sheikh Nasser. I must start by thanking His Majesty the King for his total care of the people of Bahrain. I must thank the Prime Minister, His Royal Highness, for his support and the support of his ministries and various agencies who helped in the economical and the health and various aspects that through their cooperation brought us to this good situation. I must give a special thank to the Crown Prince. His role has been
Tremendous, of course.
unbelievable in handling this on an international scale. And I follow all the major news stations and compare the actions taken by the Crown Prince through the National Committee for Fighting the Coronavirus. I thank the team. I thank Ministry of Health, the people in the front line. I thank the army. I thank the security people.
Indeed.
I thank the teachers who are helping, private and public, helping our students to study from distance. I thank the charity committees. I thank the members of Royal Charity Organization. I thank the volunteers. I thank the fine gentlemen who really galvanized people around a wonderful logo, Feena Khair.
Yeah.
His Highness Sheikh Nasser, who always give us wonderful challenges. It is beautiful that we are meeting now on the first day of Ramadan. I hope it will be a blessing for Bahrain, and I hope that with everybody's prayers that Corona will go away. But in any case, our care, our social distance, our staying at home, our being good citizens and helping this campaign should continue.
Inshallah,
It's
of course.
so important.
It's so important to abide by all the international and all the guidelines that, the efforts that are being put together for our safety, of course.
Bahrain will score a noble stand that not only for taking care of the economical aspect, the health aspect, but also the humanitarian.
Yeah.
We are the first to organize such a campaign to a professional level and to a record level of success
Yes.
for a relatively small country with relative resources, but with big heart from people.
Of course, and this is very much appreciative from the Royal Humanitarian Foundation. I want to speak more about the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, which has a very long history, of course, in the philanthropic work and such. Can we talk about how His Majesty the King's vision, how did they lay the foundation of such work for the foundation?
That's an excellent question, because what happened, year 2001, we see the result now. In 2001, in line with his reform, His Majesty the King established I have to remember the new name of the Secretary General.
We're all used to it.
The Royal Humanitarian Foundation, RHP, okay? When he established this, was to make the humanitarian work handled in a professional manner and to make sure that people receive services, good support in a dignified way.
That's
And
important.
over the past 20 years, as we handled one aspect successfully, he gave us more challenge. And as we went to another challenge, he went to more challenge. From helping orphans, he gave us orphans and widow. From orphans and widow, he gave us humanitarian difficult situations. From that, he gave us outside support to Gaza, Palestine, Pakistan, solidarity with China, with Turkey, with India, and his big heart created a good reputation for Bahrain and a good experience for the people of Bahrain. Those who helped Gaza now are supporting our campaign. So it is not something different or something new. We learned over the past 2 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
And the result is showing it now.
It's such a nice feeling.
Yeah, it is amazing feeling. And as I said, the combination with Sheikh Nasser, who receives our ideas, and with what he gives to His Majesty, he's our direct president, he's honorary president, who gives us feedback with a better idea. It's a wonderful combination. We are very lucky.
Now let's talk about the Feena Khair campaign now. How do you feel about all those contributions and the number that we've reached?
I feel really happy. On the night of the first open day at midnight, they asked me same question. I was over the moon. I couldn't express myself.
Me too.
So happy.
Everyone was excited.
I spread
really.
chocolates to everybody. It cost me a lot. So I'm so happy. And I go back just only a few days when Sheikh Nasser, in response to directive from His Royal Highness the Crown Prince to have a fundraising initiative, called me at night. He said, Mustafa, think of some good names. We are given the honor of organizing a campaign, and let me know tomorrow. Next day he called me before I called him, and I had 10 suggestions.
Yeah.
He said straight away, what do you think about Feena Khair? That there's goodness in us.
Yeah.
I said, if there's no goodness in people of Bahrain, then who is good?
Exactly.
I was shy to tell him my ideas, honestly. Until today, he doesn't know them. And we started from there.
Yeah.
We formed programs, including media programs, day by day, opened an account to make it easy for people.
Yeah.
And we went to different ways of people claiming their material support to us, financial support, and it has gone like clockwork so far. The best thing about feeling is, I said this on TV before, but I repeat it because it has a strategic value.
Sure.
One of my friends said his son gave him a dinar for donation. He said, I told him, son, don't worry, I have given 100 dinars, 100. So, no need for you.
No need,
You know what he replied? He said, but Sheikh Nasser said 1 dinar is okay.
Oh.
How sweet.
That's very sweet.
And if we generate out of this people 10 who are like Sheikh Nasser, that will not be easy, but can you imagine what type of humanitarian leadership we will have in Bahrain in 10 to 20 years from now? So Feena Khair has not only generated money, which is good because it goes to a good cause, but also generated an atmosphere of good feeling in Bahrain.
Yeah, that's true. That's
instead
very
of counting dead people and miseries and pain and everything,
it gave
people
hope.
started to feel about doing something good, expressing their feelings for good, feeling the energy and the efforts of people in the front line. So the whole country became aware that there is something called Corona.
Yeah.
Yes, you donate, but at the same time you remember I have to be careful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I keep the doctor busy day and night, and that's not fair.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, all of us sitting at home, we're all thinking about, okay, we're staying at home, we're doing all the precautionary measures and everything, but how can we really contribute? And this campaign really gave us the opportunity to do that.
Exactly.
And this campaign, it carries a lot of values as well. Can you talk about the values that came along with this campaign?
I think the best value came the love of people for His Majesty the King. This was known but latent.
Yeah.
Like an energy, it has to be changed to dynamic energy. I think His Majesty felt, and the first message I got from Sheikh Nasser, he said, you cannot imagine
What was
how happy the King is watching the program.
Yeah.
So that was great to galvanize people around leadership. That will lead to stability and peace in the country. It brought the goodness in Bahrain. It brought the goodness that Bahrain is one community. It brought also the feeling of supporting of people who have difficulties economically. So the political leadership went down into the level that affects people. And I'm telling you, I'm monitoring what's going on in the world.
Of course.
And what Bahrain does is amazing. And I had, by the way, international broadcast stations calling me, top,
Okay.
saying that we are very impressed with your organized campaign. Can you talk about it? And
That's
the
great.
program will be aired in some of the stations during Ramadan.
Good.
Even if
That's-
it's for foreign companies, but they are foreign stations.
That's really good.
So what you are doing now is being monitored very closely. I assure you of that, because the result has been amazing.
Of course, that's true. Ladies and gentlemen, the Feena Khair campaign is an initiative aimed at supporting national efforts to combat the coronavirus COVID-19, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander, and First Deputy Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. We're going to watch this report.
The Feena Khair campaign was launched by the representative of His Majesty the King for charity work in youth affairs, National Security Advisor, and Chairman of the Royal Humanitarian Fund Board of Trustees, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, who was the first to join the campaign by personally contributing 1 million Bahraini dinars. The initiative comes in coordination with the National Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus COVID-19, headed by the President of the Supreme Council of Health, Sheikh Dr. Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and compliant with all the efforts and campaigns carried out by the executive bodies of the Supreme Council for Women and the Ministry of Justice, Islamic Affairs, and Endowments. The campaign was launched in response to growing requests from individuals and entities across the private sector that wish to make monetary contributions to national efforts to mitigate the spread of the virus. The people of Bahrain demonstrated the concept of the campaign in many forms. The medical cadres in their battle against COVID-19, the over 30,000 volunteers to combat the virus, the initiative of communities to clean their neighborhoods, and the high demand to support the national efforts to combat the coronavirus. Banking institutions, family businesses, private corporations, telecom providers, the National Assembly, government-owned companies, as well as citizens all contributed to the campaign. Cash, food, medical equipment, and logistical needs can also be donated to the campaign. The campaign will continue until the end of this month.
The Kingdom of Bahrain has taken leading and proactive precautionary measures in order to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, for which it received international recognition. And now we're going to go back with Dr. Mustafa Sayed from the Royal Humanitarian Foundation. We want to talk about the measures and the initiatives that the Royal Humanitarian Foundation have taken to limit the spread of the coronavirus.
We did a number of things. Number one, we made films to educate the public about staying safe, staying home, social, and it was done by orphans. Young, beautiful, cute, and they're the most people who know about death.
I've seen that video.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It was very cute, very touching.
It was very touching,
It was
and
very
people
nice.
listened to it. The other thing is, before the formal initiative started, as you know, the main committee and Crown Prince was so busy with fighting a war, Corona war, well ahead of many countries. And I said this many times. On 3rd of February, I was in Riyadh, and I was with the Secretary General of the World Health Organization in a humanitarian conference, and sitting near each other. And at the end of the conference, we walked there, press talking to us, and he asked me what's the best way and what you are doing about Corona. I said, oh, we're very advanced. I said, our Crown Prince, he's in charge of a committee. All the ministers and agencies and health were him. Everybody's cooperating.
Yeah.
I said, Excellency, you should do the same. If you want to have a campaign successful to protect people's life. Bahrain was advising everybody. And Bahrain was proud. I'm talking about before even big countries talking, even big countries were talking, joking about Corona,
True.
as it will go away. Our Crown Prince was taken very seriously because he was wise enough to know the consequences, and we protected
things ahead.
death to everybody, even to ourselves, right from the start. As the main committee was extremely busy on economics, commerce, provision of food, health, testing, and testing is a major issue. Every part of Bahrain, from the airport to country inside to hospital, branches, all that activity that was going on, I'm sure the Crown Prince had an eye on what was the Royal Humanitarian Foundation was doing, because before that, and continuation of our work, we don't stop throughout the year. We had a number of initiatives. As I said, the media initiative, and then we had how to get to the most needy people as quickly as possible. 1,000 people whom we monitored, and with the help of His Majesty the King, we supported 1,000. And then we supported 200 of micro business, and went into following up, consoling people, comforting people. I have a team of volunteers from my staff and from others who were calling thousands of mothers to comfort them. And they say, we sent you money because it was difficult to package food and everything in a short time. And is there anything else we can do?
I mean, it's the morale is very
Follow-up
important.
was amazing, and that was also shown on Bahrain television, and there was a genuine voice in the call. And most people replied, they say, no, thank you, it's enough you called us. Some needed simple medicines like Panadol, vitamin C, or taking them to a hospital. But that was fantastic. From there, and also for the face mask.
The face masks.
When they announced, the day they announced that it's compulsory in public places to wear it, I picked up the phone. First, I spoke to Sheikh Ali Khalifa Al-Khalifi, who's in charge of the resource development and volunteer section.
Okay.
I said, he was with me at the end of a long meeting, a humanitarian meeting. Before he goes, I said, and he was in rough clothes. When I told him for that clip to be with me, he said, no, I'm wearing a hat and everything. I said, okay, up to you. I said, we want to make face masks.
Face masks.
Can you do it? He said, yes, without any hesitation. How? I said, we've got lots of families who work with us, productive families, and they have tailoring workshops. They will volunteer, and they did. So immediately I called His Highness Sheikh Nasser. I said, we have an idea to make face mask. It was a challenge to select the right medical material, design and everything, which I subsequently liaisoned with Dr. Faiqa Saleh, and she was most helpful, and material with the NAS Corporation, who supplied us for 16,000 and more on the spot. And
this cooperation amazes
ladies,
me. Yeah.
I picked up the phone immediately. I said, Sheikh Nasser, we want to make a face mask.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant idea, go ahead. Immediately. And in the evening told me the Crown Prince liked the idea very much. He must have mentioned it to the main committee.
Yeah.
And we started producing 16,000 and the show will go on. And you never know. Maybe out of this team who volunteered yesterday, His Highness asked me, how much money you give them? I said, they will be rewarded.
Yeah.
Not from me, from the king, I'm sure.
Mashallah, yeah.
But no, they're
was all
volunteering.
voluntary, yeah.
There's no mention of money. As soon as we said, they say, sure.
We need, and they did it.
And I think from these important initiatives that we may come with an industry that they will be supplying in the future 15,000 masks of the high standard to the Minister of Health, and these widows will be shareholders, and one day they will become millionaires.
Exactly. No, that's really true.
I hope.
I mean, sometimes you volunteer with something, it teaches you a skill. All of them now, maybe they learned how to be faster and do it in a more accurate manner. Tell us about the distribution of those masks.
Distribution is mainly for the people, the labor, the workers, because it's very expensive. I wanted to buy one from or inquire about one from a pharmacy 2 days ago, over 1 dinar.
Yeah.
So if the worker uses 30 a month, 30 dinars, how can he eat? So mainly it's workers, but also some societies approach us. We don't say no. We don't say no to anybody.
Yeah.
We help everybody. Our answer is yes.
That's
but the benevolence is continuing. Yesterday, outside RCO, there were trucks of people bringing food items, not cooked, because a little bit difficult for distancing and safety, but lots of food, which like I don't know, wheat, rice, canned food, and so on, and large pickups who come outside RCO. We call people in an organized manner. They come, and we put it in the carton, the back of their car, without even touching, without anything. Just wave hand, goodbye. And it's done all day yesterday. I think till 9 o'clock we're distributing. This is before any official distribution starts.
Yeah.
And our effort will continue. I think the support we get from the people and the campaign that we have today, I think we're so important in further supporting people. That's the whole idea. If the government wanted 30 or 40 million, it's nothing compared to billions that they've spent in terms of our safety, our economy, after paying electricity, paying salaries, private and public, etc. But every help counts. And Sheikh Nasser's motto since 10 years ago, every dinar counts.
Of course.
And that has helped our people to be proud in generating funds for the future of our orphans and needy people. It's what question, how do you answer in 20 years from now when young people say, what did you do for us? It's so important that we build a secure future for them from now.
Dr. Mustafa, we just wanted to announce that so far from the start of this show, we have some contributions from the citizens and some companies that have reached 120,000 dinars.
Fantastic.
Yeah, just want to say that. That's really
Thank you.
exciting.
I
We
thank
thank them, really.
everybody from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot.
It does, it does. Dr. Mustafa, let's talk about the expatriate community and their role in this campaign or this movement.
They are amazing community. Really, Bahrain is one of the safest places. You can walk 4 o'clock in the morning. A Bahraini lady, Bahraini woman, it's a safe area. People love Bahrain. Even people after they retire, they live in Bahrain. And for this campaign, I know that people are very excited. The feedback I had is amazing in how much they love Bahrain and how much they contribute. I'm not talking about the amount of money, I'm talking about the number of people who have contributed
That's true.
to this program. So important. I'm very happy with them, happy with the attitude. I don't want to mention one company and another. Last week, I made that mistake. I got praise from one and attack from another, so I don't want to repeat. But I thank everybody, the business community in Bahrain, the residents. We do appreciate them. And we need 3 things from this campaign. Number 1, the feeling of togetherness.
Yeah.
That we in Bahrain, expatriate in Bahrain, are together.
We already have that.
We are
The
facing-
coexistence is tremendous.
It's very strong. And we are facing a common enemy, a virus, a war.
Exactly.
And we have to be united. Number 2, we need solidarity from people. I remember when Corona started, we contacted the Chinese embassy, spoke to the ambassador, and we said, this is Royal, that time was Royal Charity Foundation, it's much easier to say. and we said, we are very happy to support you. Is there anything we can do? And you know, China's one of 2 greatest countries in the world. You have no idea how much this solidarity meant to them. And the message went to leadership in China, and now they are one of the biggest people who are supporting Bahrain.
I'm sure.
Same with when there was flood in Kerala. We spoke to the ambassador. We said, we are willing to help. They welcomed us to the embassy to talk about it, and they were so appreciative. In Sri Lanka, Ceylon, I forgot with excitement, the name of the country is from Philippines to Egypt, Gaza, Palestine. And we helped a lot of people. We showed solidarity to a lot of people.
So
and
now
this
it's
is
all-
what we want. We want solidarity of people. We want them the feeling of being together. That is equally important for us.
Sure. Of course, we should all stick together.
Definitely.
Citizens, residents, countries, the whole world. It is, as you said, a common enemy. Dr. Mustafa Said, it's been great to have you here with us today. If you have any last words that you would like to give to our viewers.
Yes, I forgot to thank the most important supporter for the campaign, the Ministry of Information.
Thank you.
And Excellency Ali Romahi, Abdullah Khalid, all of you, you have been in the front line and you have been amazing. And people watch you now. You are the prime time in Bahrain. I thank
Thank
the
Thank you very
ministry and the journalists and newspapers. They all have helped Bahrain to be safer, and I thank them sincerely.
Thank you. We all try, and we've kept notifying citizens and residents that they should always take the right information from the right source. So this is what we're here for, of course. Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa Sayed, for having been with us here today. The Kingdom of Bahrain has taken leading and proactive precautionary measures in order to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, for which it received international recognition. We'll leave you with this report.
As part of the Kingdom's leading efforts and steps taken to combat the spread of the coronavirus, on February 20th, a 24-hour hotline 444 was activated by the Ministry of Health to report suspected or confirmed cases or for any questions about COVID-19 in many languages. Those who work in the call center focus on receiving calls, diagnosing suspected cases, and evaluating them by phone according to internationally approved protocols. When receiving a call, data related to existing cases are reviewed and symptoms are identified, in addition to determining the risk factors for each case, if they have traveled or were in contact with existing cases or reside in crowded housing. Personal and health details are also taken with the application of the latest medical protocols and diagnosing cases. Appointments are also arranged to examine individuals suspected of being infected with the virus, especially those who have traveled or have been in contact with existing cases. All doctors and call center workers work around the clock to receive all calls and are fully prepared to fulfill their national duty to reduce the spread of the pandemic in many languages such as Arabic, English, Hindi, French, and Spanish. All received calls are treated with professionalism and necessary measures are taken during the communication period. Be Aware Bahrain is a mobile application that assists efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19. The application utilizes location data shared by users to do the following: notify individuals in the event of approaching a location where an active COVID-19 case has been detected, or if they were in proximity with active confirmed cases. Track the movement of home quarantine cases for a duration of 14 days and ensure user cases abide by quarantine regulations. Allow self-isolated individuals to book their exit test appointment. Highlights official, local, and international statistics on COVID-19 developments. Publishes the latest recommendations issued by the Kingdom of Bahrain's health authorities and general information about the coronavirus. The application has recorded 294,516 downloads. On April 4th, the Kingdom of Bahrain launched electronic tracking wristbands that alert authorities of escapees as the kingdom seeks to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic COVID-19. Self-isolating individuals are obliged to wear the electronic bracelet that will notify the monitoring station when they are 15 meters away from their phone, in which case a warning will be sent. Attempting to remove or tamper with the bracelet is a violation, and officials confirm the bracelet is waterproof. Violators will face legal penalties as per Public Health Law No. 34 for the year 2018, potentially being sentenced to imprisonment for a period not less than 3 months and a fine between 1,000 Bahraini dinars and 10,000 Bahraini dinars, or either of the two penalties. Ministry of Health officials may randomly send picture requests to which self-isolating individuals must respond with a photo that clearly shows their face and bracelet. The bracelets are compatible with the COVID-19 contact tracing application Be Aware, launched by Bahrain to advance contact tracing efforts and raise awareness of active cases within the kingdom. The Information and E-Government Authority will guide users through the app and all of its features, which requires users to ensure their smart devices are charged and that their location services, Bluetooth, GPS, and internet connection is on. iPhone users will need to ensure that the Allow Location Access is set at always. Self-isolating individuals using the application must identify their isolation location, in most cases their home, by selecting Set Home Location upon arrival. Users can correct location information by calling 444. In support of the Kingdom of Bahrain's ongoing response to the global spread of coronavirus COVID-19, currently being led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander and First Deputy Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, engineers from the Bahrain International Circuit have designed a breathing apparatus for non-ICU patients. The device has been designed by Bahrain International Circuit engineers in cooperation with the Respiratory Therapy Department, Medical Equipment Department, and intensive care doctors at Salmaniya Medical Complex to facilitate the recovery of non-critical cases. The breathing aids have received regulatory approval following successful testing at Salmaniya Medical Complex in conjunction with the Bahrain International Circuit team led by its Chief Operating Officer, Faiz Ramzi Faiz, and endorsed by its Chief Executive, Sheikh Salman bin Isa Al Khalifa. The first 100 devices, which were designed in just under 2 weeks following a directive from His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, are already in production. Bahrain International Circuit has designed 2 different devices, both of which meet the criteria set out by the Salmaniya Medical Complex. The first machine was created by design team lead and Bahrain International Circuit mechanical engineer Kamil Al-Ta'an, with the creation of the second machine led by Tariq Al-Tajir. The team behind the design will make the blueprint designs freely available to organizations around the world seeking to develop similar solutions.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, for this live coverage. The private medical institutions here in the Kingdom have also been very cooperative with the Ministry of Health from the very beginning of the pandemic. Several of those institutions have contributed to this national campaign, and we are pleased to be joined through the phone by the Chief Executive Officer at KIMS Healthcare Group, Dr. Sharif Sahidullah. Hello, Dr. Sharif, and welcome to this live coverage.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on your show.
Dr. Sharif, can you tell us about KIMS Healthcare Group's contribution to this national campaign?
Yes, definitely. First of all, I'd just like to wish everyone Ramadan Mubarak, and I hope you and your families are keeping safe and healthy during this unprecedented time in our history. I think preparedness is a key factor against fighting against COVID, and the government and the initiatives of the COVID task force and the testing that was started early helped control the situation in Bahrain. So I think we need to all applaud their efforts. The KIMS Healthcare Group is happy to donate to the national campaign against COVID. As a healthcare organization, Bahrain was our first venture internationally. It's been our home for our corporate headquarters as well as our flagship hospital, Royal Bahrain Hospital. So we feel that it's important to give back to the community that has given us so much by donating 20,000 BD to this campaign.
Well, that's really amazing, Dr. Sharif. We really appreciate your contribution. And how do you value the importance of the cooperation efforts exerted by the private medical institutions here in the Kingdom during such extraordinary times?
I think all institutions have really stepped up in this effort. Public-private partnership is vital to any industry, even more so now in healthcare in this time of crisis. As a healthcare provider, we're here to support the initiatives of the COVID task force. We have actually accelerated the opening of our new hospital, KIMS Bahrain Hospital in Al Hassan, which is just being completed for the purpose of taking COVID positive patients in the private sector should the need arise.
That's really good. Dr. Sharif, KIMS Healthcare Group had taken various measures to ensure the providing of safe health services to both citizens and residents of the Kingdom. Can you tell us more about them?
Yes. There's been so much focus over the last month on COVID, but it's important to also recognize that patients continue to have other problems, including chronic conditions that still need to be treated. Okay. We're trying to provide these services through telemedicine, telehealth at each one of our facilities, in addition to doing home delivery and home care, especially for elderly patients who may not want to be out in the community. All patients that do need to come to our facilities are screened with a questionnaire and temperature checks before they enter. Patients that are at higher risk are kept in an isolation area and treated for respiratory illnesses so they can be kept separate from patients who may have other needs.
Well, that's really good, Dr. Sharif. Thank you very much. Dr. Sharif Sahatullah, Chief Executive Officer at KIMS Healthcare Group, and we are sure that all private medical institutions will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Health to maintain the advanced level of health services provided in the kingdom. And now we also have another phone call. The Executive Manager of the Kuwaiti Financial House, Mohammed Hamid. Hello and welcome to our show.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam and Ramadan Kareem. Can you tell us about your contribution to the campaign?
Sure. First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone on the advent of the holy month of Ramadan. And obviously, these difficult times requires everybody to get together to, contribute back to Bahrain. These are difficult times and requires the contribution of everybody. And but before I start talking about the KFH contribution, I would like first to express our appreciation and gratitude to our leadership for their relentless efforts in dealing with the situation that we're going through now, and we are also grateful to our heroes on the front lines, our doctors, nurses, and everybody who's working to help keeping Bahrain safe. We can't thank them enough for what they are doing to keep Bahrain safe and to protect the health of all citizens and residents in Bahrain. They deserve all our deepest gratitude. Now, talking about KFH contribution, I'm actually pleased to announce that KFH, Kuwait Finance House, will be contributing $1 million towards this campaigh.
Wow.
This is obviously very little for what Bahrain has given us over all those years. We owe Bahrain a lot, and this is just a small contribution. What we see today, what we have been seeing over the past few weeks, has clearly demonstrated the level of awareness and cohesion of all citizens and residents in Bahrain. And we are happy to be also participating in those efforts and contribution.
Well, thank you very much. It is a great honor to have you on this show, and thank you for your contribution of $1 million, as you stated. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a short break and come back to this live coverage of the Feena Khair campaign.
استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر انجمع كل الاسرار، فيها انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر انجمع كل الاسرار، فيها انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. بحرين صوبك تلتفت كل الانظار، وعزوه على كل ديرة. حمدنا يا ملا سر وجهار، حمدنا يا ملا سر وجهار، ما حد سكن في قلوبنا اليوم غيره. استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر انجماع كل الاسرار، فيه انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. شعب اللجل دره رخص كل الاعمار، متكاتفين وكل ابوهم عشيره، جاسوا لجل در الفخر كل الاخطار، موت المعزه ولا حياه مريره. شعب اللجل دره رخص كل الاعمار، متكاتفين وكل ابوهم عشيره، داسوا لجل در الفخر كل الاخطار، موت المعزه ولا حياه مريره. شبوا فتايلهم على واهج النار، شبوا فتايلهم على واهج النار، يوم الليالي بالعطايا عسيره. استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر انجماع كل الاسرار، فيه انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. بحرين صوبك تلتفت كل الانظار، بحرين صوبك تلتفت كل الانظار، يا مجدد عهد اللي فانا بشيره.
Welcome back, dear viewers. With the contribution of KFH, the total amount of contributions has reached 35,224,143 Bahraini dinars. Our live coverage of Feena Khair campaign is continuing, and as we can see that the number of total donations has increased thanks to the participation of several individuals and institutions. The corporate social responsibility in Bahrain goes further than simply serving customers or investors with the required services. Involvement in the welfare of the families in the Bahraini community is one of the utmost importance for many Bahraini companies and businessmen in the private sector. Today, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio and in this special coverage by the founder and advisor to the board of Al Fenar Investment Holding and chairman of Dar al Bilad for Journalism, Publishing and Distribution, Mr. Abdel Nabi Shala. Welcome, Mr. Abdel Nabi. We are very pleased to have you here today, and Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Ramadan Kareem to you all and to the viewers as well.
Mr. Abdel Nabi, today we witnessed the launching of accepting the contributions of the expatriate community to the campaign. What do you think about that?
Indeed, I think it is timely, and I believe this initiative came from them. They are the people who ask for giving them the opportunity to contribute. They are very pleased to have this opportunity, like all of us in Bahrain. This is as a result of the appreciation and that sense of pride of what Bahrain has achieved in this war against this deadly virus. You know, we are very proud to see how the leadership of Bahrain has responded in a timely manner, on the right time, and that is very important.
Yes.
We all know that so many leaders in the advanced countries and now being asked that why they were late in responding. We are very proud to say that our leadership was moved in the right time. And all the initiatives have been led by His Majesty, the King himself, supported by both the Prime Minister and the Crown Prince. And we know the first initiative was to form the National Task Force, which will coordinate all the programs and the initiatives. And this is led by no one else except the Prime Minister, the Crown Prince himself, Sheikh Salman bin Hamad, who is in the forefront and who is in the middle of the battlefield, fighting, supervising, leading the whole initiative. So this itself makes the people respond and react positively to what they say. This has been reflected on how much it has been achieved of success in Bahrain in its fight against this disease, which has been recognized the world over. We are one of the few countries that provide free testing equally to the people of Bahrain, to the nationals and to the expatriates.
Exactly.
The treatment is also offered to the equally to the expatriates and to the locals. That's why the expatriates are responding. We all see what's happening in the world. Hundreds of thousands queuing for testing and for treatment, and they die. In Bahrain, we never have that. We had the testing available, and I think the World Health Organization recognized Bahrain as a leader in the rate of the per capita for testing. The treatment is available. Facilities are available. So everybody, the Bahrainis and the expatriates, will only be too happy to come forward and contribute. They see that the treatment is free. I tell you how much it costs outside. I was reading a report in the Times Magazine. In America, the testing alone could cost a person from $1,000 to $3,000.
Wow.
And they have to pay for it either cash or through their credit card.
Wow.
I mean, insurance policies. And only now has been waived. However, everyone has to pay for the treatment. We get it free. We, the people of Bahrain, get it free, and the expatriate get it free. And today, we know that most of the cases now which have been treated are from the expatriate community.
Yes, that's
and
right.
we're happy to do that. And we're all proud to do that. We are showing a solidarity of the community to serve the nation here.
And of course, because they've contributed so much in our country as well.
Indeed.
We can't deny that.
Indeed, yes, indeed. And I would like to speak in particular about the Indian community that has been here. They're the largest expatriate community in the country, and they were the first here. They were leaders, and they were some of the families. Their great-grandfathers started the business here, so they contributed to the development of the private sector businesses. And they're successful here. And I'm sure they want to pay back to them. They always do that. They're always in the forefront of helping and of contributing. There are many, many examples if you want us to talk about. There's no time, but I would like, if you will allow me, just to bring one example.
Sure.
There's one gentleman called Mr. Varghese Kurian. He's an Indian businessman. And I think maybe this is an opportunity for us. If we can call him and thank him for that, if that's possible now or later, I'll leave it to you.
Sure, we'll try to do that. Sir Abdinabi, we will watch now this infograph and get back to you.
On the occasion of Mother's Day in the Kingdom of Bahrain on the 21st of March, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa praised the achievements of Bahraini mothers in all fields and on all levels. His Majesty expressed pride in the role that mothers play in developing the country and their efforts in nurturing many generations that have contributed to the progress and prosperity of the kingdom. His Majesty expressed appreciation for the responsibilities that mothers have taken upon themselves, especially in light of the present circumstances that are affecting them and their families. And in support and appreciation of their contributions, His Majesty the King directed all relevant authorities to apply the system of remote working for working mothers in order to facilitate women's work in all vital institutions. This royal gesture takes into consideration the needs of the Bahraini family during this exceptional period, providing full support to all working mothers and prioritizing the family, which is the cornerstone of society.
we're going to go back to our conversation with Mr. Abdelnabi Sha'la. I want to talk about the corporate social responsibility. It is a fact that businesses, they need to be developed in a socially responsible manner. What is the role of corporate social responsibility, especially now in those circumstances?
It's very vital. It's very important, especially at this circumstances, at this time, at this point of time. And we have seen them in various occasions. This is not the first time that people are giving the opportunity to show their solidarity. We had similar situations before, and they will find them coming in the forefront to contribute. You have seen in this campaign for the donation how the organizations, how the companies came forward beyond the expectation of everyone else. You know, it shows that it's actually inbuilt in the culture of Bahrain itself, including the corporations here in Bahrain, individuals, because corporations are only run by individuals, by people who express themselves through their companies. And this is what you have seen, how people were very graciously and generously came until a few minutes ago when we get a contribution from KFH, which everybody will be appreciative of that.
That's right. That's right. And of course, a lot of companies have also contributed and made a lot of efforts, even I think before the campaign has started. A lot of companies contributed within masks, or even if it's to the families. I know my company did that. They gave us face masks to every employee, like 10 for us and our families. So a lot of companies did contribute even before the campaign and are continuing. Mr. Abdelnabi, I want to talk about the directives of His Majesty the King to unify the national efforts to handle those repercussions of the COVID-19 with the aim of ensuring the safety of the people. Can you tell us more about these royal directives and their importance to the business sector?
It is extremely important. As I said earlier, it was extremely timely to introduce those measures. I think the first initiative was to form the national task force to coordinate all the activities and all the programs, to coordinate all the campaigns. And it was formed by the top executives, ministers from relevant ministries who have been daily contributing and meeting and giving a brief. And this is very, very important as well, because transparency in this matter are very, very important. And we have been appreciated. We were not one of those countries who have hidden the numbers or changed numbers. We were open. We were very transparent from the beginning. And that's important, how we were able to confront this danger. So this is the most important step taken. And since then, that through that committee or that task force, number of initiatives started, including the package of 11.4 million support to the business community and the whole. You see, no one, at least I can assure you that we were one of the first to start giving such generous support to the business, and in particular small and medium size, which the economy depends heavily on their contribution, the small and medium size companies. And they have been supported generously by the government programs, stimulus programs, including payment of the salaries of the staff. And this is not done in many countries. The government is now paying for the electricity for 3 months, for the water, for the municipal tax, and this can only ensure that the continuation and the support of the businesses which will continue, and everybody will benefit, Bahrainis and non-Bahrainis. And that's why the non-Bahrainis are very appreciative, and that's why today you are opening, giving them the opportunity to show their appreciation and to contribute.
Taking us back to the expatriate community, there's a story that I really want to hear. I've heard that you're the most famous guy within the Indian expatriate community. I want to hear the story of why is that?
Well, that's very kind. We all, you know, in Bahrain, we have a very colorful social fabric here. We're all mixed up since our childhood. You know that. And we mix the Indian community is part of our social fabrics. I had the opportunity, of course, to live in India for 4 years, so I came with much more understanding, appreciation, and since then I had the opportunity to help in contributing in coordinating the contribution of the Indian community through clubs and association. We have formed the Bahrain India Society, and this is a platform which is ready to help and support the contribution of the Indian community to your efforts.
Well, Dr. Mr. Abdel Sha'la, we have now a phone call within our contribution hotline. Hello and welcome, Sheikh Badr Al Khalifa, the General Manager, Corporate Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility of Betelco.
Hello, hi. I hope everyone is doing okay, and Ramadan Kareem to everyone.
Thank you very much. Of course, we're here to talk about Bahraini companies' role in supporting and contributing to this national campaign. Can you tell us about Betelco's contribution to this national campaign?
Yes, first of all, I would like to convey on behalf of Betelco board members, management, and all members of the Betelco family, our gratitude and appreciation to our leadership for the tremendous efforts in fighting the coronavirus at all fronts under Team Bahrain, under the leadership of His Highness the Crown Prince. And we also extend our appreciation to His Highness Sheikh Nasser for giving us the opportunity to contribute to this campaign through the Feena Khair campaign. And we're glad to be members of Team Bahrain in this, through this difficult time. For us, we have, as part of the major national companies in the kingdom, we feel that it's our national duty to participate in supporting the government in their efforts. And we believe that Bahrain has given us a lot over the years. It's time to give back, especially at a time like this. And we think that we can only go through this crisis by putting our hands together. And we have a strong belief that our role as a national company is very important, and it can make a difference.
Well, of course, Betelco provided the Bahraini community and its users with several initiatives during the current circumstances, especially with the aim of supporting distance learning and homeschooling amid the current school closure. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, initially, with the beginning of the crisis, I mean, we've always kept a close eye to the development in the community as a result of the coronavirus situation. Initially, when they first closed the schools, we have opened up the internet usage for all our customers for educational sites. And then when more organizations, ministries, and companies have had most of their employees working from home, we extended that. We have opened up the usage of the internet with unlimited data upload and downloads at steady speed to all sites and all kind of usages until that started back in March, and it extends until the end of May. And of course, we're going to review that when the time has come, depending on the need. This is to support the government efforts and encouraging people to work from home, and also helping our students to continue with their schoolwork and with their homeworks and research and all of that during this difficult time without any difficulties. We've also worked with a number of our partners. An example is Enjaz. We have partnered up with one of our technology vendors, and we supported Enjaz, which does a lot of work around education and supporting the education system of Bahrain with 500 Wi-Fi devices that enhances the speed of Wi-Fi and the internet at homes. That will be used to support students, schools, as well as university students as well. We're talking about all ages during this time. We've also worked with another partner we have, which is Brink Petelco, an incorporator of Internet of Things that is sponsored by Petelco, and we've launched our first virtual competition for students from different ages. We launched a hackathon asking students to share ideas about how to enhance the distance learning, and that's an attempt to keep our young students busy at home, not only with studies, but also beneficial, fun things to do.
That's really good.
That's for the,
Yes, go on.
That's for the distance learning front. Of course, on other fronts, we have supported our consumers with our digital channels. We've launched the delivery to home service recently, using our own fleet, our own teams. And this is encouraging people to stay at home and providing the same level of service without compromising the quality. We've also supported a number of entities with communication logistics during this time with high deployment, high speed for installation and so forth. We're talking about different government organizations, different entities that needed our support during this period. On a different front, we've also know that now Ramadan is coming, or Ramadan has started, and now more people will be spending more time at home and won't be socializing as much as they used to. So the entertainment becomes more important, entertainment at home. So we are sponsoring Al-Saria quiz show that will start on Bahrain TV today, which is an extension to His Highness Sheikh Nasser Heritage Festival that usually takes place every year. But this year the setup has been changed because of the Corona situation. So it's going to be a quiz show in the new Heritage Village. So we are the main sponsor of this show with a lot of cash prizes and interesting prizes from the program. We're also sponsoring 3 different quiz programs on Bahrain Radio. One is aimed at the general public, another for children, and another for the Quran station. Just, living the spirits of the holy month and encouraging people to participate. So on that front of also kind of getting involved, so we'll make sure our people at home are enjoying and living the spirit
and entertain.
of the holy month.
Yes, thank you very much for that.
Now, finally, recently we have, of course, supported the campaign with 3.5 million dinars, and this is something we're proud of as a national company to be part of, an honor to be part of this national campaign.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate all your efforts. Thank you very much, General Manager of Corporate Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility, Sheikh Badr Al Khalifa. And we are sure that not only Petelco, but also all Bahraini companies will never hesitate to take such humanitarian and social initiatives that benefit the Kingdom of Bahrain, its citizens, and its residents. Now we continue our talk with Mr. Abdel Nabi Shala. Since the very beginning of the pandemic, you had the keen interest to write in newspapers readers in your published articles about the coronavirus from different perspectives. What can you tell us about the role of local newspapers in those circumstances?
It is very important, the role of the media and the newspapers in promoting the values and promoting the ideas. This is also encouraged by, as I said before, the transparency. The government itself has provided the media with all the information that it is needed, and they gave the media the opportunity to really educate the audience or the readers of the importance of, first of all, to adhere to the instructions and the requirement to ensure that an effective battle against this disease is maintained, including the lockdown and the social distances. I would call it physical distances, because these days you can maintain social communication through the media,
Exactly.
but it is a physical distances which is very important, especially with the holy month of Ramadan coming, which is known for gathering. And this is very important thing that the community has now responded very positively. And the media role is very important to promote the ideas, promote what the government has contributed, what are the programs, what are the initiatives. As I said, it has been really unmatchable in spite of the difficult time, of our limited resources, of the difficult period now with the decline of the oil prices. Our government, our leadership has taken really very bold steps in educating the people, in confronting in more than one front. First of all, they have confronted the disease. They have done the testing in a very record time, in a very appreciated manner, the availability of the treatment, the availability of the facilities. These are all expensive exercise that many countries, which are much bigger than us and much could not make it. And we make it, and this is very important that the public should know about this very clearly, and the media plays an important role. That's why you see the response from the community came easy, because the community is aware, is educated. The fund provided for the private sector itself, as we mentioned, this is again unmatchable, and we were the first. Maybe some other countries have taken or initiated a similar schemes, but we were the first to start.
Of course.
Okay. So the media has to play an important role in shaping the community thinking, and I think it has done very well. The government again has also initiated a very strong media campaign, which they have invested a lot in that, and that has worked.
Yes, it did. As you said, despite the losses of whether it's the government or companies, SMEs, even the residents and citizens of Bahrain, all of them have put their hands together and contributed in this national campaign. Now, as we see the numbers increasing of the contributions to this national campaign, what do you think are the values that represent this?
It shows how the community is. This is the time where we have where we are able to show the real nature of our people, the spirit of the people, the community here, the Bahraini's nature, and the coexistence that really characterize our community, our society from the beginning. We have inherited that, and we have cherished that, and we continue to cherish and continue the same path, and this is shown on such an occasion. There is sometimes there are positive signs when it comes in the darkness. This is one of them.
Yes.
That Bahrain is one community.
Yes.
That the Bahrainis are behind their leadership.
Yes.
The Bahrainis and the expatriates appreciate the initiatives and the steps taken, and they see how we are actually fortunate and lucky to see how others suffers, where we are really being protected and guided.
Yes, and we are all very proud of that.
Indeed we are.
Mr. Abdinabi Shala, founder and advisor to the board of Feena Investment Holding, thank you very much for being here with us. It was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, as we thank the founder and advisor of the board to Feena Investment Holding and the chairman of Dar al Bilad for journalism, publishing and distribution, Mr. Abdinabi Shala, we are going to continue. So please stay tuned with us, our dear viewers. We will get back to you, but after this short break, and we will continue the coverage of the campaign with my colleague, Sarah Al-Brick.
Corona is a virus.
No, that's a pandemic. I mean, it's ruining a lot of people's life.
Basically, it makes people sick.
It is though that kills people when you go outside without masks and gloves.
Just stay on home.
You rub your hands for about 20 seconds or 40. It depends on what you want, but it has to be more than 20 seconds.
20 to 30 seconds, I think.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Like that, like that. With sanitizer.
Wash your hands.
Just remember, stay home.
I kind of hate staying at home. I'm really bored. One thing I do is stay on my phone 24/7, TV, play, and eat.
Kind of boring, but I try to entertain myself.
It's a little bit bored, and if we're bored, we can like watch phones and play PlayStation.
Yeah, and play.
I advise you to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, take a shower so your body can be strong. And so if there's a person next to you that have coronavirus, you don't get it. So yeah, that's what I advise you to do.
Definitely do not stay next to people who like cough or like have the symptoms or anything.
If we want to go out, we have to the supermarket, we have to wear masks and gloves. So if we can touch the stuff with the gloves.
Enjoying. This here.
See?
Stay home. If you're going out, wear mask and gloves.
Hashtag United Against COVID-19, Team Bahrain.
Hashtag United Against COVID-19, Team Bahrain.
Hashtag United Against COVID-19, Team Bahrain.
Yay, Corona finished. We can have fun now.
نعاهدكم أن نبقى بينكم ومعكم في كل خطوة ومرحلة من أجل رفعة البحرين.
على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال، وميثاق الولا المكتوب على منهج ملك القلوب جمعنا في طريق الخير وحقق غاية المطلوب، وحقق غاية المطلوب على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال. على صدر الزمان يبان دليل النهضة والعمران، وفي عهد الرخاء الزاهر تقارب يجمع الأديان، تقارب يجمع الأديان، ومقصى البعد في التفكير تجلى بحكمة التغيير، وشفنا بصمة العاهل على الإصلاح والتطوير، على الإصلاح والتطوير، على صرح العطا والمجد شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد. ومن يسأل هل البحرين غلاكم يا حماد في وين، يجيه الرد من شعبك ملكنا منزله في العين، ملكنا منزله في العين، ونهتف من غلا باسمه حمد يا زارع البسمه، كفايه لحدان الضيق سقانا من كرم واسمه، سقانا من كرم واسمه، على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، على مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحد، غلاكم ما وصل لحد.
Welcome back, dear viewers. With 110,517 Bahraini dinar contributions, the total amount of contributions has reached 35,334,660 Bahraini dinars. The recently celebrated World Health Day was an excellent opportunity to express sincere thanks and appreciation towards the White Army, who are performing a noble role all over the world in general and in our beloved kingdom in particular during the current health circumstances. And today, we would like to pay tribute to the leading Bahraini medical and nursing staff for combating bravely the novel coronavirus COVID-19 on the front line with highest quality and professionalism standards, which resulted in gaining international praise of Bahrain's protocol of handling the pandemic. Bahrain has set up a dedicated national task force to tackle the spread of the virus and took measures to ensure that testing and quarantine facilities were set up without delay. The kingdom has one of the highest testing rates per capita in the world. Generally, the recognition of or gaining the recognition of the World Health Organization for its agile response. Bahrain is also the first Arab country to join the solidarity trial to find effective treatment for the virus. The following report will tell us more about those efforts.
All coronavirus patients receive treatment from a specialized medical team that follows guidelines provided by the World Health Organization, and all critical cases receive extensive 24-hour treatment. The Ministry of Health launched a 24-hour hotline 444 to report suspected or confirmed cases or for any inquiries regarding COVID-19. The authorities at Bahrain International Airport conduct medical tests on passengers arriving from any of the affected countries if Bahrain is their final destination. Gulf Air continuously coordinates with the relevant authorities in the kingdom and with airport authorities throughout its network to take all precautionary and preventive measures in order to ensure the safety and security of the kingdom's citizens and residents, along with its passengers and crew. The Ministry of Health conducts random coronavirus tests among citizens and residents as part of a comprehensive national response to the global spread of the virus. The ministry conducted field visits across the kingdom, including Manama, Ali, Al-Had, Sanabis, Wafa' and Al-Jafir. Tests were collected from owners of hypermarkets, supermarkets, cold stores, bakeries and pharmacies, as well as the elderly and individuals who are susceptible to COVID-19 in order to safeguard the community. Random testing contributed tremendously to curbing the spread of the virus, as those who have been in contact with the positive cases were tested and quarantined as a precaution. Bahrain also waived the 7BD medical consultation fee for non-Bahrainis, which aims to consolidate the precautionary measures being taken to combat the novel coronavirus. The Ministry of Health also launched the telemedicine service via video call consultations with primary care and health centers. The services provided by video call include simple medical consultations and health inquiries, prescription renewal, and analyses of laboratory tests or radiology results, among others. The service targets individuals under precautionary home quarantine to enable them to receive medical consultations without visiting health centers. The efforts of the Ministry of Health largely contributed to mitigating the spread of the coronavirus, and its efforts to provide the best medical service to patients is evident in the large number of recoveries in the kingdom.
We are pleased to be joined here in the studio by infectious disease consultant at Salmaniya Medical Complex, Dr. Jamila Salman. Welcome to this live coverage, doctor, and thank you for being here to answer some of our questions.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here.
Doctor, if there's someone around here to ask about figures and facts, it is you. So please tell us, what are the most current facts and figures you have for us for COVID-19 in Bahrain?
Well, yeah, this is probably, we'll go with the most important number that people really care about it, which is currently, as of the official numbers from Ministry of Health, we have 1,127 current cases, active cases. Most of them are really very, very stable. Some of them, they have developed pneumonia where they're receiving the treatment, and we have only one critical case. Regarding the recovery part, which is very, very important to everybody also, that we have 1,082 cases has recovered, left our institution, but we are following them up to 4 weeks post-discharge, after discharging them, just to make sure they are okay, and there is no reactivation of the disease or retransmission among the healthcare facilities. Regarding the other numbers, which probably we don't go with the exact numbers, is that Bahrain is considering, across the region, we are one of the highest with the recovery rate. We are good in controlling the disease and maintaining a good number. That not to say that we are with the whole world, combating the new coronavirus, the COVID-19, which with its unexpected knowledge, pathophysiology, and treatment also.
When it comes to fighting this virus, Bahrain really did become one of the countries at the forefront, especially that the first global case was around December sometime, and Bahrain was one of the earliest countries who put together this task force. So what can you tell us about the fact that they were so early? How did that affect the outcome that we have now?
Well, that's great, because you have to be ready, but I have to tell you that, and everybody has to know, the whole plan in Bahrain is very comprehensive. It's well controlled, well managed, well implemented, and that just reflects the extraordinary vision from the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Sheikh Salman Mohammed Al Khalifa. That has been put initially, that's from January, where the whole world now is facing with the COVID-19. People are still struggling what to do, what not to do. We have a complete plan. When we say a complete plan and comprehensive, it's where everybody is represented in that plan, in the task force, and in the implementation. We have a flexible plan that takes in consideration the daily change in the number, whether in Bahrain, in the Gulf countries, or even internationally. It takes into consideration the change in the pathophysiology, how much we know about the disease, how we have to move about the prevention measure, and how we go about the treatment. That involves all the stages that even the World Health Organization now, it's emphasizing to all the countries to do it as probably we did it. Now when we get in a meeting, even with the World Health Organization, and they tell everybody that you have to do 1, 2, 3, basically is that you have to test as much as you can. And probably Bahrain is one of the top countries where we have number of tests per capita, per million population. The other part, the tracing of these tested people, how we are going to people in their places to test, how we have the testing capacity of resources, then how we trace them. The contact tracing is very important. WHO now is emphasizing whoever is positive to take them and isolate them, not to leave them at home. Some of the countries initially, they were keeping people positive at home for home isolation, but we didn't do it in Bahrain. We took the extra measures. And the last one, which is treating as much as we can, taking that a lot of issues has been going on about the treatment, or what we say the drug of choice. Everybody knows in the whole world there is no specific drug for the COVID-19, but we have all the drugs that's been experimental, that's been used in other countries, thanks God, available in Bahrain in good quantity. So from testing, resources, to tracing, to treating, and training everybody, our healthcare worker across the country. We are talking about all the governmental hospital, non-governmental hospital. They've been trained ahead of time how to deal with the cases. They've been trained how to suspect, how to take the samples, how to even interpret the result of the sample. That the whole plan put really Bahrain ahead of a lot of countries, and we are really sharing our experience with the neighboring countries and international community.
Absolutely. I mean, even with the press conferences that are held every week, there are always updates coming to the citizens themselves, whether in the English or in the Arabic language. And we also know, because of all of this testing, there are a lot of things that were figured out, like that there are 3 strains and there are different medications used, and it depends on what area you come from. Well, we're going to continue talking about this, but before we do so, we are going to go on a phone call. We are now joined by His Excellency Anwar Habibullah, the Chinese ambassador to Bahrain. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of Feena Khair campaign. Can you tell us about this?
Hello.
Yes, hello, Mr. Habib.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you,
Your
thank you. First of all, I'm Anwar Habibullah, Chinese ambassador to the Bahrain, and thanks a lot to give me this chance participating this wonderful campaign. I have always paid close attention to the epidemic of coronavirus in Bahrain. China government and people firmly support Bahrain government and people to take effective measures to combat the virus and highly prize Bahrain's great effective achievements on control and prevention of virus. I'm watching now your live TV campaign for COVID-19 fund, and I'm glad to participate this campaign and with pleasure to donate personally 2,000 Bahrain dinars to the RHF Foundation to support Bahrain to fight against the virus. According about this campaign, I like to say, express my feeling. Your successful campaign demonstrates the patriotism of Bahraini people and the determination of all the foreigners who in Bahrain, foreigners who living in this lovely country and join hands to donate, to contribute for your combat of virus. I believe that with the united and common effort of the Bahrain government and the people, we will eventually prevail the virus. I'm very pleased and glad participate in this campaign, and I will electronically transfer the donation to your account IBAN on Sunday morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Mr. Anwar Habibullah, the Chinese ambassador to Bahrain. And thank you, of course, with the very big amount of citizens from the Chinese Republic also here in the country. We know that they've contributed the country as much as they have also been part of the community here. And community is really a factual word. We're going to go back with Dr. Jamila Salman and talk about this right now. Community, when it came to COVID-19, the globe became such a small place. I mean, everybody was getting sick and everybody was worried about the other country. What can you tell us about the global efforts that have been put in motion against COVID-19?
In Bahrain, we were part of this global effort, and probably, as I mentioned earlier, we were actually ahead of time in a lot of countries because we had the cases and the plan ahead even before we had the first case coming to Bahrain. But with the global efforts, they are getting enjoined to each of these countries inputting the science behind it, how much we know about the virus. We are sharing the data with the World Health Organization, with the experts among the region and internationally. We have a lot of teleconference and communication, and we are updating the knowledge of our staff. Plus, we are sharing our experience, what we have done in Bahrain to the other countries. And believe me, a lot of people are looking up to Bahrain and they try to gain from our experience in dealing with the cases and how we are managing. The whole, as you said, it's a global effort. This is an extraordinary time. No one country can survive alone. It has to be everybody together. And that will come about, basically about sharing the knowledge about the virus, how it gets transmitted, how much we know about it, how we diagnose it, and even the follow-up, and even about what the prediction, the epidemiology of the disease. Is it going to end soon, or going to have it for the next few months, or as some are saying, even up to the end of the year or up to the beginning of next year. So that has to put in the perspective for each country planning, because that will change how we'll be ready and how much we need to put more efforts in it.
Yes. For people to really understand about how much Bahrain has done from the beginning of the COVID-19. They only need to go to the WHO's website where they have recognized Bahrain for all of this. How do you value this recognition for the Bahraini efforts?
Well, we are so excited about it. It's myself, like any Bahraini, or anybody living in our beloved country, everybody's so happy, and because this is international recognition of the whole world, and this reflects just the work ethic, the teamwork that we are doing in Bahrain under our. This is just the visionary measures, the mindset of our leaders. How come and put all the measures to put Bahrain in the top countries in the whole world. That's preparing according to the book, according to the most advanced evidence. Everybody is happy about it,
yes.
And this is just reflect how much collaboration is happening on the ground. Like when we talk about the front, the frontliner or the first people,
Yeah.
we're talking about the health system, but it's also everybody, like in Ministry of Interior, people even in the public relation, how they work together to make it happen under the end. So you have the plan, which is very well organized.
Yeah.
You have people who are execution. They are doing the whole steps by measures. It's a flexible plan. It's take the measure, what we did, what we have to do, and actually we take our indicator, we measure the numbers, how much we achieve, how much we have to achieve. And this is actually monitored every day, 24 hours, to make the best for the people of Bahrain.
That's amazing, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some other issues, but before we go to that, we would like to get back with the latest updates. Now we have 117,100 Bahraini dinars contributions from the Chinese ambassadors, citizens and residents. The total amount of contributions has reached 35,451,760 Bahraini dinars. The Ministry of Information Affairs joined the national efforts of raising awareness about COVID-19 through a series of television and radio timeouts, highlighting the necessary health measures and guidelines to deal with it in 7 different languages, including English, French, German, Filipino, Hindi, Urdu, and Japanese. The Ministry of Information Affairs will continue launching these educational and health breaks for all citizens and residents through its visual, audio, and electronic platforms to spread awareness and culture on effective ways to deal with the COVID-19.
The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is to be well informed about the COVID-19 virus and disease it causes and how it spreads.
Protégez-vous et protégez les autres contre les infections en vous lavant les mains ou en utilisant un désinfectant à base d'alcool fréquemment sans toucher votre visage.
Das Covid-19-Virus verbreitet sich hauptsächlich durch Speicheltropfen oder auch durch Ausfluss aus der Nase, wenn eine infizierte Person hustet oder niest.
Mahalaga na tayo ay may respiratory etiquette katulad ng pagbahing sa ating siko. Regular na linisin ng lubusan ang inyong mga kamay gamit ang alcohol-based rub o di kaya hugasan ang mga ito gamit ang sabon at tubig.
उससे 1 मीटर दूर रहिए। एक जगह में 5 से ज़्यादा लोग जमा होना मना है। रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाना मना है।
ジム、商業店は営業停止ですけど、だがスーパーマーケットは引き続き営業を行っています。
Welcome back to the studio. These efforts were done in the ministry here, and it's really a big thing for me to even add to it that a lot of Bahrainis have these different languages, and it was done in order to cooperate with the local citizens that tend to understand things better in their own languages. What do you think of efforts like this in spreading awareness?
Oh, this is very, very important. As you said, most of the information that we have, most of the education material that we give, it's for everybody. There are certain education material for the individuals, for the public, for small businesses, for big businesses, for the healthcare institution, and they have to be put in their language to understand it, so the information reach them very correctly, and they know how to do it and how to execute it. Because it's not only Arabic and English we have to consider, because we are all in the same boat, so we have all to cooperate to to really cooperate with each other to make it happen. So all the instruction we have, how to prevent, how to decrease the transmission of the disease, has to reach everybody living in Bahrain.
Yes. Cooperation is my second key word here. Now, earlier we had a phone call from Dr. Sharif Sahudullah from Kim's Healthcare Group, who also contributed to our campaign today. And the Ministry of Health also consolidates and coordinates with private medical institutions during the current health circumstances. What can you tell us about this coordination?
Well, this coordination has started from the first, planning system for the plan for combating COVID-19, where they've been involved from the first part, which is the training with the healthcare worker, how they can see the cases. There was an audit that has been done in collaboration with the National Health Regulatory Agency, where we give all the information, how to deal with the virus, how to suspect these are the cases, how to take the samples, and how to proceed, even how to transfer them to the facilities which are treating. So this has been done from the first training, conveying all the message, sharing with them all the protocols that we have for testing, follow-up, and actually they are with us in the same plan. Now we have centers, and everybody knows that we have even other private hospitals who are managing some of the facilities for the isolation or quarantine purposes. So they've been with us, and really we thank them for their cooperation.
From your point of view, what else can one do to spread this public awareness about COVID-19?
Well, I think if we continue doing what we are doing, we'll be really in a great position. But we are looking, and actually depending on everybody that they have to feel, everybody in this country, they know their role. Everybody, I think, with the amount of information that's been conveyed, they know, and they are really helping too much in making this plan really working, and the success of the controlling the number of cases that we have in Bahrain. So basically it's continuing what we are doing, and really emphasizing and increasing the threshold for helping or not helping. I think everybody will do it, and I'm sure everybody will be with us.
Yeah. Well, the motto or logo of our task force to fight COVID-19 is in Arabic mujtama wa'i, and in English it is a aware society.
Yes.
Do you believe the Bahraini society, with its expats and with its citizens, have really reached the level of, yes, this is an aware society that really is fighting together against this?
Well, I think so, yes, absolutely, because we are getting the feedback, where we are in the field, when we are seeing the patient or we are tracing the contact, they know, most of them, will not say all of them, but most of them, they know about the information, they are happy to help, and they are listening to the instruction. So it's reaching them. Once you have the majority of your population know the exact and the same message, I think this is the success to the program and the awareness campaign that's been done. Yeah.
Well, in the last press conference that was held about the COVID-19 and by the task force itself, a lot of pointers were given on why it is important to basically wear the mask continuously, and not just by people who are sick or not sick, but by everybody, because it reduces the amount of contagion and so on. Following these rules are really the way to prevent infection and spread. What is it that other countries have not caught? Why did it spread so farly in other countries than in our region?
That's a great question. So that's basically comparing if you take the preventive measure ahead of time. Most of the countries that they are facing problem with the large number of cases, there was no preventive measure ahead of time. So they didn't start by preparing their health system. They didn't prepare for resources, how much they didn't plan for testing to increase the testing. They didn't give the measure or the awareness campaign that we have provided in Bahrain to all our citizens, or everybody living in our country. So once you get the people with you in the plan, because they will execute the tiny details, which is the prevention measures. The wearing mask is a major component of it, and now more countries are asking for wearing mask, because it's very clear for us as we know more about the disease. We initially, probably even the World Health Organization, were talking about only the sick people has to wear the mask, or if a healthcare worker dealing with a positive case. But now we know that even people who does not have symptoms, but they have the disease, they can transmit it. So we can sit with people who doesn't have any symptoms, but they can give us the virus. That's why we highly recommend wearing the mask, because that will decrease the risk of exposure from very high to low. And that's how you can decrease your number of cases in the country. So all the countries that they faced with large number of cases or death, they didn't do it as it has to be done. So that's what they have Take in consideration all these preventive measures. I'm sure everybody heard about the peak of the curve or flattening the curve. So the virus is here and it's going to stay with us, but it's how much measure you put so your curve will be flattened. The flattening of the curve, it will take it for longer probably period, but within the number that the country can tolerate, decrease the number of cases and the health system can deal with it. So that's you avoid a lot of complication or death. So that's the basic concept of prevention measures.
And actually, the reason, because Bahrain has really caught on with the preventative measures from the beginning and the precautionary measures, Bahrain is also by the WHO consulting for other countries in order to help them catch this pandemic in time. Isn't that so?
Sure. We had several meetings with the WHO, whether it's the international meeting from the headquarters or the EMRO region where we have the regional, or in the Gulf countries. And we are sending all our plan, all the steps that has been done in Bahrain, and we have a lot of teleconference where we're sharing all the steps that has been, and actually they are, taking it as it is, at what we do, and they are building, and we are taking from their also experience. It doesn't mean that Bahrain doesn't need the help. We need the help. Every country needs the help. So that's where it's put us like ahead of time, but still we have to make the most of what we have, the most of the knowledge available internationally to make it really successful till the end.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Dr. Jamila Salman, for being with us today. And God bless you on this whole way that is still to go. Ramadan Mubarak. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
As precautionary measures are the first step towards mitigating the spread of the coronavirus, Bahrain has taken extensive strides towards conducting the largest number of procedures to protect the health of citizens.
As part of the precautionary measures adopted by the kingdom, Bahrain has implemented the strategy of social distancing and established a managed framework of free movement to ensure that family life and economic productivity would continue. As part of the social distancing strategy, schools and universities were closed to prevent the spread of the virus among students and teachers. But in order for the educational process not to be interrupted, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Information Affairs collaborated to broadcast 8 hours of educational content a day on television. The social distancing strategy also includes urging employees to work from home, for which Bahrain reported the highest rate of implementation in the Gulf region. Also, individuals are advised to remain at home with the exception of those who commute to and from work, those buying medication or essential necessities, and those visiting a hospital. A multilingual national campaign to combat COVID-19 has been launched in the kingdom to enhance public awareness and increase prevention measures. Bahrain began a disinfection program across all governorates. The civil defense trained 322 individuals from cleaning and private companies to carry out the disinfection operations, which were conducted in accordance with local and international standards and in coordination with concerned authorities. As a precautionary measure, many government institutions, councils, and governmental bodies held their meetings remotely, including the Cabinet, the Representatives' Council, and ministries. The kingdom also made wearing face masks in public areas compulsory for citizens and residents.
We are pleased to be joined now in the studio by His Excellency Sheikh Hisham bin Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa, the capital governor. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sheikh Hisham, the capital governorate is one of the governorates that have the highest number of expatriate laborers that are within the community there. Now, due to the fact that it hosts the largest population of foreign laborers and expat, the capital has launched a number of initiatives to contain the spread of COVID-19 and raise awareness on it. What can you tell us about these initiatives?
Well, before we start the interview, I'd like to commend and praise the role of our leadership, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, and our Prime Minister, Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, and our Crown Prince, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, for their role in safekeeping Bahrainis and residents, and the initiative that has been taken from day one, from establishing the National Task Force for combating COVID-19, to all the measures from closing the schools and the measures that we see it that are keeping us safe and enabling us to manage this crisis in a way that the World Health Organization have praised Bahrain and said that we can be considered a model for other countries.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy. With regards to the labor, as you have seen, this was entrusted to His Excellency the Minister of Interior, Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah, to reduce the concentration of the labor. And through his direction, with the meeting with the governors, he directed us to put a plan and implement the plan, keeping in mind the safety of our labor. They are part of our economy. We need them for our growth, and as we are aware, Bahrainis always care for their employees. And we have put a plan. We identified the buildings and the blocks that has high concentration of labor. And we are lucky in the capital government. We've been dealing with this from 2013, trying to improve the building living conditions. And we were able to improve 1,029 houses. However, as we know, labor-intensive area always, the problem is the high intensity. And our strategy was to reduce 30% of the highly populated buildings so that we make it more safer, and moving them to a safe shelter, which we are providing assistance, beds and food, so that they can continue their life and go to their work, and keeping them safe with the medical condition and supervision.
Yes. Now, when it came as you said, of course, the preventative and the precautionary measures taken by Bahrain from the beginning have curbed the spread of this virus very much. Also, the capital government has done a lot when it came to spreading awareness, whether it is things that within the way we can see through people walking around, or even putting on these masks. How do you value this awareness that was spread to people?
Well, from day one, we were proactive in our approach. First of all, we are working with the government entities through the cooperative council that is established by the Prime Minister and headed by the governors, in which we did a lot of recommendation. One of these recommendations was how to clean up the markets and disinfect them, which we saw in play as well. We did campaigns, awareness campaigns in different languages so that the labor will understand. We are working hand in hand with the municipality in giving violations and warnings to houses that are overpopulated. And we are putting responsibility on these owners. It is their responsibility and duty is to reduce these concentrations so that we keep our labors safe. We're working as well, we had a great campaign, maybe Together We Care, that we have, it's been going for a few years, but this year we've been focusing on it to distribute food, goods to everybody, basically, who have been affected by the corona disease. And we are up to date, we have distributed around 10,000 baskets and hot foods in Manama area, which we are proud, and we are proud as well to work with banks and merchants and traders and people from all walks who are donating to us, whether it's food or money. And we are continuing helping people where help is needed. Yes. For everybody.
Yes. The capital government, you mentioned some of the institutions that there is some kind of cooperation between them in order to be able to curb the spread. But what can you tell us about how you value these cooperations with these different institutions, whether it's the Ministry of Interior or the Ministry of Industry? Because we know that there was a lot of movement in the latest days now taken in order to keep everybody safe.
I mean, the Ministry of Interior has been given a big job.
Yes.
And we have great cooperation with the Capital Police Directorate, in which we've been entrusted with the movement of this labor. The first initiative was done in the capital government. We were able to reduce concentration of laborers in certain building and move them to the Ain Adari Park, where it's housing around 500 employees, where they are free to move. You know, they can go to their work, continue their living, but we put them in a safe environment and healthy environment to combat the spread of the virus. We provide them with masks, we provide them with guidelines so that we educate these employees or laborers.
Yes.
Yes,
go ahead.
And please. Just to add, I mean, with regards to the municipality, we're working with them now, hand to hand, with serving the violations to these buildings that have been overpopulated. So we have to work together.
Yes.
Moreover, I would like to extend my message to the business owners and companies and merchants who have labor in the capital government or in the central area, to look at their housing areas.
Yes.
If it's not healthy, please reduce their density or reduce them, move them to a safer home, because by having them safe, they're protecting their businesses and they're protecting their lives.
Take action.
Because if they get infected, and then they will affect their business and they will affect their livelihood.
Yes.
So it's a joint effort from the part of the business owners, because a lot of people give them allowance and they don't care where the employees are living. So now we're telling him, no, please check where your employee is, because he can be, has a danger to you if he's not in a good accommodation.
Yes, yes.
So we need to work together to reduce the concentration. The companies that have buildings that are overpopulated, reduce the amount of your employees, make sure the circulation is good, make sure they have gloves, they have masks. This is very important so that we can keep Bahrain safe.
Yes.
And practice, try to work together to overcome this big problem that we have all over the world.
Exactly. Recently, the news, actually we reported in the news about there being some inspections within the central market in order to make sure that there is food availability, as well also that the prices are in check. And these initiatives are part of the cooperations as well. And we also see that citizens and residents are more aware now of how to keep themselves safe and their food safe and so on. So what can you tell us about the awareness of citizens seeing that life is almost normal as before?
I mean, Bahrain, we're lucky that the social media here in Bahrain, people are well connected, young and old, and if somebody sees something, whether it's on Snapchat or whether it's on Instagram, we're able to move very fast. And like if somebody is not practicing social distancing, we see it on the Instagram, and you see the community police going directly to whether to the hospital or whether to the location and taking the proper measure. We need to work together. Social media has helped us, even following people who are tested, or there should be in stay at home and they're not practicing. They're not staying at home. This social media helps us a lot.
Exactly.
To communicate and to get the message through, and also to make people more aware of what they need to do.
Right. Thank you so much, Your Highness Sheikh Hisham, for being with us today and for giving us all of this information. And we're going to be now back with another update as the Coptic Orthodox Egyptian Church in Bahrain contributed 5,000 Bahraini dinars in collaboration with concerned parties. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism continues to exert tremendous efforts and issues various rules and regulations to deal with current health circumstances in all industrial institutions, as well as shopping malls, markets and food providers, following the directives issued by the Government Executive Committee. The following report will shed more light on those efforts.
Over the past few weeks, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism has made extensive efforts in order to mitigate the economic effect of the virus on the local market. Upon the directives of His Royal Highness the Prime Minister, Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism has intensified inspection campaigns to control prices, combat monopolistic practices, and firmly address attempts to exploit citizens by manipulating prices. The first step taken in response to the virus's spread was the temporary closure of non-essential businesses to curb the pandemic spread and maintain the health and safety of the citizens and residents of the kingdom. The Minister of Industry, Commerce and Tourism, Zaid al-Zayani, then issued an edict fixing the price of face masks and ensuring their availability amid soaring demand. Following the surge of demand, the ministry announced the provision of an additional 1 million masks, bringing their total number to 2 million. Other measures taken include the allocation of the first opening hour of businesses to pregnant women and the elderly to minimize their interaction with others. In addition, shops were instructed to apply the regulations of social distancing and disinfection. Some of the measures taken include mandating the use of face masks by both shoppers and employees, leaving a safe distance between individuals as advised by the Ministry of Health, as well as the periodic disinfection of the internal and external premises of all shops in the kingdom. In an expression of social solidarity and community partnership, the Ministry of Commerce joined efforts with 70 volunteers who were provided with the necessary tools to emphasize social distancing and wearing masks in stores and markets. The latest addition to the ministry's services offered to facilitate selling and purchasing goods for both consumers and suppliers is the launch of the mall.bh online platform on the ministry's website, which was announced in the latest press conference held to discuss the recent developments related to the coronavirus.
وتزامنا مع ذلك فيسرني أن أعلن اليوم
I would like to announce that the IT Directorate at the Ministry of Industry, while implementing this, would launch a website on the title mall.bh, and this website would provide the companies working in Bahrain and also customers to purchase through this website. And this website has been designed completely within the ministry and have been put in pilot, and I'm glad to announce to have 100 companies joined this website, and I would like to call upon all the other companies and institutions, especially the ones in the medium and small enterprises, to have this as an advantage to promote their services and goods free of charge.
The online platform will benefit both individuals and business owners alike by providing an official, safe and monitored environment for the community amid the current exceptional circumstances.
Welcome back to the studio. Before we go to our second segment, Your Excellency Sheikh Hisham, one of the really strengthening points of Feena Khair campaign is that His Highness Sheikh Nasser was one of the first contributors to it, and that really pushed a lot of people to see the goodness in these contributions and how they help the kingdoms recover and get through, or not even recover, get through the rest of this pandemic, hopefully hopefully that will be over soon. What can you tell us about how you value such a contribution by His Highness Sheikh?
I mean, first of all, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad has always been a role model for the young people. And I think today with his contribution of $1 million, he started a new kind of race, race of goodness, race that teach us a lot about the character of Bahrainis. I think today I heard that we reached 35 million in these few days since he launched the campaign. This tells us a lot about Bahrain and His Highness, his contribution and what he started today. And as we are well known that the Bahrain Humanitarian Foundation is managing it, and of course I am lucky to work with them at the capital government, I'm sure all the other governments, and the kindness they show everybody, whether in Bahrain or outside. And I'm sure that this campaign will reach everybody and will help to combat COVID-19 and bring the goodness in the people of Bahrain. And I urge everybody, Bahrainis and non-Bahrainis, to contribute because this will help everybody.
Yeah. I mean, Your Excellency, we're going to go to a break, but just before a break, a little word from you to the government or to your community.
Well, I hope, I mean, with all the measures that we are taking to practice safe distancing, don't go out of your home if you don't need to. Keep safe, keep your family safe. For our labor, they are part of our economy. We try to help them. For the companies that are working in Bahrain, please look where your employees are working. Try to reduce and find them safe homes so that we all get together. We all join hands with our leadership to get over this difficult situation.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for being with us and for answering our questions. Dear viewers, we're going to go to a short break and be back.
ഹലോ മാമ ബഹ്റിൻ ആരോഗ്യ വകുപ്പിൻ്റെ മുൻകരുതലുകളും നടപടികളും പിന്തുടരുന്നതിനാൽ നമ്മളിവിടെ വളരെയധികം സേഫാണ്.
Hey mambo, hope unaendelea poa.
Hai, sasa sisi tuko salama, usijali. Tunahudumia wateja wakiwa nje, wakiwa mbali na sisi.
Привет, мам, я тоже скучаю.
Привет, дорогая. Я очень скучаю. Пожалуйста, не забывай мыть руки с мылом. Пока.
Ako nga din miss ko na din kayo. Oh, ingat kayo dyan lagi. Hugas ng kamay.
Hello, tol. Musta ka dyan sa Bahrain? Miss na kita. Salamat, tol. Ikaw din dyan. Lagi ka din magugas ng kamay at hand sanitize. Ingat lagi.
Assicurati personalmente ogni giorno che il protocollo venga rispettato. Lo staff deve indossare le mascherine, i guanti e divise pulite. La temperatura deve essere controllata.
We are pleased to be joined here in the studio by Lulu Bahrain Director, Mr. Juzair Rupawali. Thank you very much for coming today and joining us, Mr. Rupawala.
It's a pleasure, and first of all, let me wish everyone in Bahrain and across the world a very happy and blessed Ramadan. And I also want to start by saying a big thank you to the leadership of Bahrain for the way, the resilience, the wisdom they've shown in handling the situation what we are in today. You know, the leadership is like setting an example of how we can be resilient, we can be caring, at the same time we can be compassionate also.
Yes, right. Mr. Rupawala, one of the really compassionate communities we have here, mostly, I mean, get together in places where people usually go for their daily routine amenities, like at the Lulu hypermarket. So, Mr. Rupawala, can you talk to us about the importance of community partnership, especially during these challenging times?
As I mentioned, you know, the community partnership and the community participation comes from the examples which the leadership is setting today. You know, you see His Royal Highness the Crown Prince heading the National Task Force, and you see him in person in the battlefield, you know, speaking to people. You see that gives you a lot of comfort, that gives you a lot of responsibility to be part of this amazing times we are in, to join hands together. The community has been very inclusive. Bahrain has been very inclusive to everyone today, whether it is expatriates or Bahrainis. We haven't felt a bit of a difference today in living in this country. I am here for the last 15 years, and you know, the best part about Bahrain is Bahrainis.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, Mr. Rupawala, you mentioned that also, but also when we look at it, the private sector, we see they've really contributed during this epidemic, and they've really treated the kingdoms and efforts and taken them by heart to apply them. So what is the role of the private sector in supporting the kingdom's efforts when it comes to such circumstances?
You know, today I feel it's everyone's responsibility, whether you are an SME or a big company. Today we have to follow and be guided by the initiatives taken by the leadership, by the government.
Right.
Private sector plays a very, very important role in applying and putting together the laws and regulations prescribed by the government, and you know, we understand that very seriously. We've seen how the government is applying the rules very, very subtly. At the same time, you know, the private sector's main responsibility today is to walk shoulder to shoulder with the government.
Right.
And in doing so, you know, by supporting, by being a volunteer, by being contributing in monetary ways, by contributing in kind, and you know, most importantly, the government has given us a huge stimulus, you know.
Right.
There are very few countries who've done it right from the beginning, and you know, it's the best way to say thank you to the leadership and the government is to be part of what they are doing and to help them and walk shoulder to shoulder today.
Yes. Is there anything that you'd like to add here at the end, especially that Lulu Hypermarket have contributed recently to the Feena Khair campaign? So what can you give us as a last word?
We, as on behalf of the management of Lulu Hypermarket, on behalf of my chairman, Mr. Yusuf Ali, we are very humbled to be able to contribute in such a wonderful Feena Khair campaign. You know, goodness and all is there, and you know, we just have made sure that, you know, we be playing our part. We made sure that food is available in our hypermarkets. Food security has been taken care of. We've made sure all the directives of the Ministry of Health have been followed very closely, whether it is social distancing or having you know, the hygiene standards in place. As Lulu Hypermarkets, we consider this as our first responsibility to take care of the customers as well as our staff. And you know, we are very thankful to the leadership over here, to the government, for giving us an opportunity.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Jazer Rupawala, for being with us and for talking to us today about this and about the contributions of Lulu, as well as everything that's going on right now. Also, thank you very much for being with us today, Mr. Rupawala. And now we are going to a short break.
مملكتنا وأهلها صادقين الوعد مخلصين بغلاهم من عهد لعهد، وإن سألت المحبة يا حمدنا بتقول امتداد المحبة من حمد لحمد.
عمت الفرحة هالديرة يوم أقبل طيب السيرة، غالي وأقبل على غالي، هذا أبو سلمان ما غيره، هذا أبو سلمان ما غيره، سيرته بالمجد عطرها وديرته بالحب طورها، لين سواها الملك جنة فوق ما كنا نتصور.
Welcome back. We are pleased to be joined by one of the contributors to the Feena Khair campaign, 10-year-old Anumita Jundari. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
Hi. You don't sound 10. Can you tell us what or why did you contribute to the campaign?
Well, the reason I donated is because I feel this is a very good cause. So why not use my money for something good?
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your contribution and for helping the Feena Khair campaign.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
How about Anita? Can I just ask how much did you contribute, or you don't want to tell us?
Yeah, sure. She can tell you how much she contributed.
Please tell me.
I'm contributing 15 BD.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that contribution, for helping out with this.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that is probably one of our youngest contributors today. And we are being joined here in the studio by the Acting Director of Marketing and Tourism Promotion Directorate at Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, Dr. Ali Foulav. Thank you very much for being with us today, Doctor. This is probably one of our youngest contributors today, and hearing this makes people really happy and see that everybody is really a part of this. Dr. Ali, what can you tell us about the contributions that, of course, the tourism sector now has been affected greatly after this COVID-19. What can you tell us about the precautions that have been taken?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. And today is first day of Ramadan.
Yes.
Ramadan Kareem to His Majesty the King, to the Royal Highness the Prime Minister, and Royal Highness the Crown Prince, and to the people of Bahrain. If you allow me to say just a few words about tourism sector achievements. If you see since 2015 till end of 2019, there was a big achievement by the tourism industry in Bahrain. If you see that the tourism sector, at least there are increased by 43% in the number of tourists. It's 37% increase by the total of tourism nights,
right,
and so on. In 2019, the tourism sector contribution to the national economy is 1.4 billion Bahraini dinar, which is around $4 billion.
Yeah.
And if you divide it by the number of days per year, which is 365 days, the tourism sector is contributing 4 million dinar per day.
True.
So, and that's why, based on that, and to 23rd of December in Al-Ahsa meeting by the Arab Ministerial Tourism, Bahrain or Manama become the capital tourism for Arab countries.
Rightfully so.
Yes, so that was a big achievement. So based on that, and then what we have reached now, with the COVID-19, the government of Bahrain on 17th of March of this year come up with packages to support the citizens and the business and sectors in Bahrain.
Right.
I don't want to elaborate more on that, but just very brief, we're talking about $11.3 billion, which is 4.3 billion Bahraini dinar. This is represent 29.6% of Bahrain GDP.
Yes.
Okay, and these packages is affecting, first of all, let's say the tourism related business being exempted by paying the tourism levy.
Right.
And of course also this package paying the citizens and the businesses the electricity and water bills, the municipality, and so on.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the liquidities, again, there is a support. Tamkeen also, which is a semi-government agency, also supporting. So as I said, because of the achievements of so many sectors, the tourism, the construction, and so on, the government of Bahrain came forward and supported. And I would like to tell you something which is very important. As I mentioned, the government of Bahrain announced the package on 17th of March, where, for instance, UNWTO, which is World Tourism Organization, the Secretary General, wrote to all ministers on 31st of March. So you see the actions been taken by the government of Bahrain. When it comes to the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority is concerned, as far as BTA is concerned, we come up or we develop a task force, you know, to come up with the crisis, to be very close, action plan actually, to be very close with all our partners, stakeholders, hotels, tour operators, so on, in Bahrain or internationally. And just to be sure then that we are there to support them, and we pass all the achievements of Bahrain government, and that's why so many stakeholders, let's say internationally, they couldn't believe what Bahrain has been doing, you know, just to yes.
Right. I mean, when it comes to the Bahrain Tourism Exhibition Authority, it has such a great thing on, it has a really great goal on their backs to show Bahrain the way it really is for people to come in and to enjoy the beautiful island as us residents and citizens are already enjoying it. And during these really difficult times, of course, there are some people that stayed behind and there are some people that would like to come but were not able to come. But Feena Khair is a campaign that was launched by His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad, and we would like to get your input right before we get to our next segment on why Feena Khair is such an important campaign for this time.
Feena Khair, I think it came at the right time. It's led by His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad, Khalifa, and I think it's really, you know, it's very vital, and that's the patriotism. That's in Arabic one say al-muwatana, you know, and it came at the right time, and it's a message. It's a message for the SMEs, for the private sector, for the banks, for everybody, for the individuals to come forward and support this initiative. And I would like to say that it's very important that, you know, as I mentioned, this is a patriotism. In Arabic we say al-muwatana, okay? And this is the right time. This is the time which we have to come forward and support our country. And even for the SMEs and for the banks or whatever, they will get back these monies, you know. This is gonna be like a wave, a business wave, you know. They will be affected positively back of these. This money will not be put as a fixed deposit or anything. These money will go to the market, to the, you know, and so that's why I think it came at the right time.
Yes.
And you know, very happy, and that's Bahrain.
Yes,
that's Bahrain.
That's Bahrain. And that word you just gave, I mean, that last word is an amazing word for people to keep in their minds why this is important, why contributing to a campaign like this will really keep our economy balanced and everything going on. Thank you so much for being with us today. During these exceptional times, a number of ambassadors to the kingdom gave messages to the people hailing Bahrain's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Filipino community is safe and sound, and on a personal note, I can attest to the genuine concern, the high quality and professional treatment that I received when I needed to go to the hospital a few days ago. I urge you and remind you of the healthy practices staying at home, avoiding crowds, maintaining social distance, washing your hands frequently, coughing etiquette, and wear a mask. I am sure that if we all come together, we will overcome this coronavirus threat.
I would like to express our appreciation to the Bahraini government for its proactive and transparent response to the COVID-19 crisis. The Kingdom's efforts have rightly been recognized as a model. It is at times like this that we remember that Bahrainis and Americans have been working together for more than 100 years to fight epidemics and disease. Indeed, the founders of the original American mission treated smallpox and cholera victims in Manama in the early 1900s. Today, Americans in Bahrain continue that legacy of cooperation. American scientists are working tirelessly with counterparts from around the world to develop better diagnostics, treatment, and ultimately a vaccine and cure for COVID-19. Many difficult days lie ahead, but like we have done for more than 100 years, Bahrainis and Americans working together will overcome this challenge and emerge stronger than ever.
And I'd like to thank the Bahraini authorities for everything they're doing to combat the spread of coronavirus. Their precautionary and preventative approach has been praised by the World Health Organization and is really critical to keeping us all safe. It's great to see Bahrain involved in the scientific initiatives to get beyond this crisis, in the WHO solidarity trials, and learning lessons from the new app, the Be Aware app, which helps with the contact tracing. Now that contact tracing and isolating people who are connected with those who've got the virus is really important. Bahrain has conducted more than 50,000 tests in a population of 1.5 million. That makes it the second highest rate of testing in the world, and that's really commendable. We're managing to do most of what we need to remotely. We've been having remote meetings by video conference with Bahraini ministers, with the Majlis Shura last week. People are finding ways to stay connected, and that's really important now and for the future. So I'd like to say again, I've got full confidence in the measures being taken by the Bahraini authorities, and it is an exemplary approach for the benefit of all residents and citizens.
أود أن أعرب عن خالص تقديري لجهود اللجنة الوطنية لمكافحة الكوفيد-19 بقيادة سمو ولي عهد البلاد حفظه الله، وهي الجهود التي أثمرت عن تبوء مملكة البحرين المرتبة الثانية عالميا والأولى عربيا في تحقيق نسب شفاء قاربت 70%، وهي أيضا الجهود التي انعكست إيجابيا على كافة المقيمين داخل المملكة وبالطبع منهم الجالية المصرية. خالص الشكر والتقدير للرعاية الكاملة من سلطات مملكة البحرين وأطيب الأمنيات بكل التوفيق والصحة والسعادة.
बहरीन में रह रहे भारतीय समुदाय को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं बहरीन में रह रहे भारतीय समुदाय से अनुरोध करता हूं कि बहरीन सरकार द्वारा कोविड-19 बीमारी को फैलने से रोकने के लिए दिए गए निर्देशों का पालन करें। जब तक कि बहुत ही ज़रूरी काम ना हो, अपने घर से बाहर ना जाएं, जैसे कि ज़रूरत का सामान खरीदना हो या अस्पताल जाना हो। इसके अलावा किसी भी काम के लिए घर से बाहर ना जाएं। हमेशा एक सामाजिक दूरी यानी कि सोशल डिस्टेंस बनाए रखें और एक दूसरे के बीच में कम से कम 1 मीटर की दूरी हमेशा बनाए रखें। सामाजिक स्थानों पे यानी कि पब्लिक प्लेसेस में 5 से ज़्यादा लोगों का इकट्ठा होना कानूनन मना है, इसलिए सामाजिक स्थानों पर इकट्ठा ना हो। सभी सामाजिक स्थानों पर फेस मास्क का पहनना कानूनन ज़रूरी है, इसलिए इसका पालन हमेशा करें। यदि आप कोरोना वायरस बीमारी के लक्षणों का यानी कि सिम्टम्स का अनुभव करते हैं, जैसे कि खांसी, बुखार या सांस लेने में तकलीफ हो, तो आप अपने ही घर पर एक कमरे में बंद रहें और अलग बाथरूम इस्तेमाल करें। तुरंत कोविड-19 हेल्पलाइन 444 पर कॉल करें, मेडिकल टीम द्वारा दिए गए निर्देशों का पालन करें और किसी दूसरे व्यक्ति के संपर्क में ना आए। सुरक्षित रहें और स्वस्थ रहें। धन्यवाद।
We are now joined by Ahmed Al-Sayed, the Director of Content at Radio Bahrain, by phone. How are you, Ahmed?
How are you, Tara?
Thanks. How do you value international recognition of Bahrain's efforts in dealing with the pandemic?
Well, thank you very much, Sarah, for the opportunity. It's such an honor to join you today on Bahrain International for the national campaign Feena Khair. And that's a fantastic question you just asked. Please allow me to start by thanking the leadership of Bahrain, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, for he has shown incredible foresight and leadership in the efforts that Bahrain has undertaken in containing the coronavirus so far. Now, in terms of the international recognition, it's good to see that the international community recognizes the efforts that Bahrain has made in saving lives and showing proactive leadership at this difficult time. His Excellency, the former American ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Mr. Adam Early, has actually penned an eloquent article praising the timely leadership and management of the coronavirus in Bahrain. And I believe that the fast and decisive actions of our government has led to the fact that we are not only containing the virus here in Bahrain, but are showing incredible positivity and saving lives. And such praise and recognition of Bahrain being a global role model in combating COVID-19 makes us all proud. And I hope everybody continues to stay safe and healthy.
Absolutely, Ahmed. Also, what can you tell us about the importance of Feena Khair campaign in specific?
It is such an honor to take part in the Feena Khair national campaign. And I have to say, the moment I heard the call of duty from His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa in the video, where he called on all the people in Bahrain to show their symbolic support and solidarity in joining the efforts to fight the coronavirus by donating whatever means they can afford, I knew that this is the least we could do for Bahrain. And so it's not surprising to see such a positive and overwhelming response for the campaign, with institutions and people donating generously, not only from Bahrainis, but also from the expat community of all nationalities, ages, and walks of life. Ask any expat you meet or any Bahraini, there's something very addictive about Bahrain and living in Bahrain that brings people together. Now, I'm one of those that loves to travel, not these days, of course. But when I used to travel, after a week or two outside Bahrain, that's it. I want to come home. There's a unique, homely community feeling that you don't find anywhere else in the world. And it's precisely for that reason that made this campaign such a success. The strong bond and love between our leadership and its people, and the harmony that exists amongst all nationals and residents alike, gives us that strong sense of national pride and makes us collectively feel that we are all in this together, Sarah, to fight this virus until we win, inshallah. The Royal Humanitarian Foundation, with His Excellency Dr. Mustafa Said, has done a tremendous effort towards making this campaign a success. So thanks to him as well. Please, whoever's watching right now, Bahrain deserves your support. Donate whatever you can afford, whatever you can. And in Ramadan, Shahr al-Khair, I would like to repeat what His Highness Sheikh Nasser said, Feena Khair.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Ahmed. My last question to you is, in your latest project, you announced the launch of a new song called Je t'aime Bahrain. Can you tell us more about it and share with us the reason why you decided to produce this project?
Inshallah. Je t'aime Bahrain, which in French means I love Bahrain, is a song that has quite a special story to it. It began around a year ago when I was thinking about writing a song for Bahrain. I started to put some ideas and lyrics. Now, I wanted the song to be different, stand out, be timeless, modern, but with a traditional twist, just like Bahrain. Now, while all this happening, at the same time, I get a call from a dear friend of mine, Carl Wine, who's a talented French singer. He's been to Bahrain a few times, and he's been on the radio with us as well, and he fell in love with Bahrain.
Wow.
And he told me that he too is thinking about writing a song for Bahrain. So it seems like both of us shared the same vision at the same time. So that's when we decided to join forces and co-write this song. And that's how Je t'aime Bahrain was born. But the story doesn't end there. A few months ago in life, before Corona, we decided to finally shoot the video clip for the song. So we asked our friends at Terra Motion to join us in this journey and produce a video clip that showcases the beauty of Bahrain, something that will attract visitors and make them say, wow, I want to go there. Remember, this is all our individual efforts. We did this for the love of Bahrain, nothing else. And what made this journey even more special and what made us more proud is the overwhelming support we got from everybody who took part in this project in one way or another. And I would like to also take this opportunity to thank you, Bahrain International TV, for being the first media platform to kindly play the video clip of our song. And that means a lot to us. And thank you very much for your support. And because we are all joined here today to support the national campaign Feena Khair, I would like to announce from your esteemed TV channel right now that proceeds of this song, once we release it in Eid, will go towards Feena Khair, and that's the least we could do for Bahrain. So God bless you for your effort. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the song. Je t'aime Bahrain.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed Sayed, the Director of Content at Radio Bahrain. Thank you for joining us.
1, 2, 3 Bahrain. يلا 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 جنة في الأرض بحرين جتم جتم بحرين I love you يا بحرين صفقة صفقة Turn up بحرين Turn up بحرين Turn up بحرين يلا 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 علي بحرين Je suis là Sing with me 1, 2, 3 بحرين
Welcome back to the studio. Joining me here again is Dr. Mustafa Sayed. Thank you very much for being with us again today.
My pleasure.
We had such a really good day, and we even have one of our youngest contributors, a 10-year-old girl who contributed 16 dinars to Feena Khair, mashallah. You can just see how much love people have for Bahrain and for our kingdom. Any words from you now when we're coming here to the end?
I'd like to thank Ahmed for his song. He sent it to me, and I told him, you must join this program, our program today. And I'm glad he did. But what he said is, he is of course a professional radio expert for a long time. But what he said is a reflection of the quality of the people in Bahrain radio and TV and your media, where you don't only read and give the news, but you believe in the cause and promote it.
Absolutely.
And that is fascinating. So thank you, Ahmed. Today was an excellent day. In a short 3 hours, we made $3 million. 2 million already received in the account, and $1 million will be confirmed on Sunday once it goes. This is fantastic. We appreciate it very much. I thank the participants in the program. I thank the community. I thank everybody. I must start with repeating my appreciation to His Majesty the King. He must be happy to see the love of the people for him. What is important is not the money alone, though your speakers, your guests highlighted that they will see the benefit of this contribution when it goes to the good use.
Exactly.
That not only the underprivileged and the poor will benefit, but even themselves indirectly benefit.
Yes, yes.
And what made me happy was the high level of moral support to Bahrain and to the campaign and to the leadership. I left for a short while. I was with the guests one after the other, as you know, since lunchtime. I left for a short time to go to Arabic station, to shuttling between the two to give them some news. I think I hear the Chinese ambassador.
Yes.
That is fascinating. That ambassador of a great country.
Exactly.
Whose love and affection we gain with one call.
Yes.
Just a few weeks
phone
ago,
call,
when we called them, that we said, you have corona, we are with you. And here, they are with us. I think that exemplifies the success of today.
Yes.
On top of everybody who came, I thank your guests, speakers, everybody. They covered the aspect of corona from various points, from the economical, from the medical, from the moral, from the safety and the care for the workers.
Yes.
And it's been a great day in the history of Bahrain, not in Bahrain International Television.
Yes, it has really been an amazing day, especially that we also see a lot, as you mentioned, the foreigners also collaborating in order to contribute to Feena Khair. From you, I'd like a word to the people, to the residents of Bahrain who have contributed today and are still contributing by being part of the society.
Of course. Today, we generated enthusiasm and motivated people. And that was the main objective. In 3 hours, you cannot do much, though we worked for it minute by minute for the last 7 days. But the result will come. I'm sure of that. So far, for those who have contributed above 1,000, I have about 500 people, and those also a lot, but just below 1,000, about 40,000 people. It's a large number of individuals taking part in a campaign, which has some time to go. I say to our expatriate friends, I thank you. You demonstrated that Bahrain is like your home.
Yes.
And we are one family, and we take care of you. And you can be sure, definitely, that every dinar contributed, as Sheikh Nasser said, counts. And you can be sure every dinar would go to a good project. A number of good suggestions has gone to His Highness Sheikh Nasser. Out within 2 hours, going over the different useful ideas. And once it is finalized by the team and the main committee, you can be sure everybody who helped this will be proud.
Yes, we're very proud.
And their name will be in the plaque of honor.
Yes. And at the end of it, really, as at the beginning of it, Feena Khair, that's what it means. There's good in the people.
There is goodness in the people of Bahrain and the residents of Bahrain. Everybody. It's a great day. I'm so happy.
We are too. Thank you so much for all of these answers. We'll be right back after this break. At this specific time, the reason that makes Bahrain a very special and unique country is obvious in front of us. The reason is its people and residents, their unity, solidarity, harmony, and sense of national duty. This Friday is very special to all people in the Islamic world in general and in Bahrain in particular, as we are witnessing the first blessed day of the holy month of Ramadan, and all people that call Bahrain home are answering the national call in support of national efforts to combat COVID-19. 35 million of Bahraini dinars in financial and in-kind contributions have been donated by citizens, residents, private corporations, family businesses, civil society institutions, and charity organizations. All of those donators shared the same deep sense of responsibility, belonging, and loyalty towards this beloved land. Such characteristics have always been attached to the Bahraini society. At the end of this day, we would like to express our deepest thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King's Representative for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, National Security Advisor and Board of Trustees Chairman of the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. We would also like to thank our guests that were here with us today and in the studio, and all those who participated through phone calls. Special thanks to those who donated and contributed to the campaign, which will continue until the end of this month, and the way is paved for everyone to contribute to it through financial or in-kind donations through the RHF's website, www.rco.gov.bh, or NBB's account appearing on the screen. We wish you all a blessed and happy Ramadan. Goodbye and God bless.